Chapter 711. A reunion of old friends. Bingxing looked at the immortal origin and said, "This immortal origin is enough. You can keep this immortal origin." She didn't know what Qingyun was doing to state King Yi. She just felt that it was strange. "Sister Bingxing, you should keep it. It can help you become stronger faster and return to the immortal desolate earlier." Qingyun said. "Bao Changshu has 2 more. Including the one below the immortal pool, there are 3. If they are connected, the immortal energy condensed will be even more, enough for me to use." Bingxing moved the immortal origin to Qingyun's side. "Then I won't be polite." Qingyun also accepted the immortal origins with a smile. He had 3 little fellows to raise. If Mo, Yang Yang, and little Jade Rabbit grew up, they would also be a very powerful force. Bingxing asked, "What did you just do to this? I feel that his immortal body has become much weaker." Speaking of this matter, Qingyun also has many things to discuss with Bingxing. "Sister Bingxing, I've obtained a lot of devil blood and immortal blood. Can I use these 2 types of blood to cultivate immortal devil body?" Qingyun asked very seriously. "I don't know." Bingxing's beautiful eyes flashed with fear. Then she shook her head. "Immortal devil body is not that easy to cultivate. Otherwise, everyone would be able to cultivate it." Qingyun felt that he should ask Siekaru, because she has an immortal fiend body. Suddenly, Granny Ma's voice came from outside. "Supreme Elder, is Qingyun inside?" Qingyun hurriedly went to open the door and saw Granny Ma with 2 women in white with veils covering their faces. He recognized Xiao Yuelon and Qi Malian at a glance. "Qingyun, they are here to look for you," Granny Ma said softly. "It shouldn't be convenient for you to receive them in the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall, right?" "Of course it's convenient." "Granny Ma, do you want to come in and have a seat?" Qingyun walked out with a smile and immediately pulled Xiao Yuelon and Qi Malian's lily-white hands into the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. "No need, I still have something to do." Granny Ma is very surprised. However, when she thought about how Qingyun obtained a few immortal origins for the Immortal Weapon City, it is normal for the Grand Elder to value him highly. After Granny Ma left, Qingyun closed the door. Qi Malian took off her veil. Her cute and innocent face was filled with a sweet and joyful smile. When Qingyun saw the face that he had missed for a long time, he felt very happy. He immediately extended his hand and caressed her jade-like cheeks. "Big brother, I've finally met you." Qi Malian threw herself into Qingyun's embrace, her eyes moist with joy. "Little Malian, you are stronger than me now." Qingyun giggled and gently supported her back. Then, he wiped away the tears on her cute face. Qi Malian chuckled and said, "Big brother, you're much stronger than me. If it weren't for you, we would all have been killed by those devils." Grandma Yunyao said that you're a great hero. Xiao Yuelon looked at Bingxing walking over and said with a smile, "Bingxing, you should be the luckiest one. You actually didn't die." "Bing, Sister Bingxing." When Qi Malian saw the cold and arrogant Bingxing, she felt somewhat terrified and immediately hid behind Qingyun. Bingxing looked at Qingyun and said, "I have to thank Qingyun's past life for sealing me. Bingxing, other than you, we're all dead." Xiao Yuelon looked at Qi Malian and sighed faintly. "You really should thank Qingyun." Qi Malian said softly, "Sister Bingxing, why do I feel like you've changed a lot? You weren't like this before. You look so scary." Qingyun had long guessed that Qi Malian also had a past life. "After experiencing so many things, I've only changed. It's already good that I haven't gone crazy." Bingxing walked over and caressed Qi Malian's cute face. "You're still the same as before, so cute and innocent. You haven't changed at all." "Bingxing, let the matters of the past be in the past. I am Xiao Yuelon now. She is Qi Malian." Xiao Yuelon said, "That's right, it's all in the past. Now is a new beginning. I hope we can still be good friends." Bingxing looked at Qingyun with a complicated expression. "We will always be good friends." Qi Malian suddenly became excited. She threw herself into Bingxing's embrace and hugged her. Xiao Yuelon also walked over. The 3 women's faces are filled with happy smiles. Their eyes are moist as they hugged each other. Although Qingyun is very happy, He feels somewhat depressed in his heart because only he doesn't know what happened. All right, we're leaving, Xiao Yuelon said. Yuelon, didn't you say you would stay with me for a month? Qin Yun hurriedly shouted. I want to cultivate in seclusion with little Malian. Xiao Yuelon giggled at Qin Yun and said, just let Rian accompany you. She's my wife. Big brother, I'll be on Demon Moon Island from now on. We'll be able to meet often in the future. Qin Malian laughed. I'm very happy to be able to see you. Qin Yun pinched her face and asked, in the future, don't sneak into those big powers. It's very dangerous. It was Yuemei who asked me to replace her. Qin Malian also told Qin Yun about Xiao Yuemei. This damn girl, if you see her, tell her to come find me immediately. I have something important to talk to her about. Qin Yun scolded with a smile. Got it. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Malian and walked toward the door. Qin Yun and Bing Xing sent them out of the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. Bing Xing, take good care, Xiao Yun. Seeing that you two are getting along pretty well, I won't say much about your past life. Before Xiao Yuelon left, she warned them again and again. Qin Yun watched as Xiao Yuelon and Qin Malian left the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. After they left, Qin Yun muttered, this girl Yuelon is really something. She doesn't even want to accompany me. Bing Xing said, Qin Yun, the two of them have important matters to attend to, so they are in a hurry to return. What is it? Qin Yun asked curiously. Soul healing. Bing Xing said, just now, I felt a strange reaction from their souls. I guess it's the effect of reincarnation. For them to be able to reincarnate and awaken their memories so early, there should be someone secretly helping them. Qin Yun had previously guessed that Siekaru was secretly contacting Qi Malian, Xiao Yuelon, and Xiao Yuemei to guide them in their cultivation. Sister Bing Xing, was Little Malian's previous life's martial spirit also a space-time martial spirit? Qin Yun asked curiously. She has two martial spirits, the space-time martial spirit and the memory martial spirit. Bing Xing returned to the side of the immortal pool and sat down. She said, her memory martial spirit is very powerful. When she is sad, it can seal those bad memories. Qin Yun came to a sudden realization. Previously, Xia Wufeng, Murong Darren, and Huizhong had seen Qi Malian's martial spirit, but they could not remember what it was. Ling Yun suddenly said, Xiao Yun, didn't Yuelon say that you lost a portion of your memories when you were young? I can't even find that memory in your mind. Clearly, it was taken away by a special power. If that's really the case, only Little Malian can do it. I suspect that back then, Big Sister Imperial Preceptor asked Little Malian to help take away your memories. Things are getting more and more complicated. Qin Yun felt that Siekaru was deliberately hiding many things from him. Sister Bing Xing, was my relationship with Little Malian and the others very good in my previous life? Qin Yun asked. Your relationship was very bad, and they were all deceived by you. However, I don't know what happened in the many years after I was sealed. In short, there must be a reason why they are so good to you now. Bing Xing looked at the immortal pool with a complicated expression. I also want to understand what happened after I was sealed. I'll go back and meet up with those friends before coming back to cultivate with you. Qin Yun did not want to continue thinking about this matter because he has no clue at all. Bing Xing nodded gently. Qin Yun left the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall and hurriedly returned to his residence. He took out the immortal graveyard diagram and dripped blood on it. Xiao Yun, what's the matter? Did you see Little Malian? Siekaru asked. I saw her. She and Yuelon have met Bing Xing. They have become good friends again. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Big Sister Imperial Preceptor, I always feel that you are hiding many things from me. They are all related to my previous life. Yes, I'm hiding many things. Those things can easily affect you, so I don't plan to tell you for the time being. Yuelon and the others also know. The reason why they didn't tell you is because they have the same considerations as me, Siekaru said. Yang Shiryu's reincarnation is also something that Siekaru did not expect. Therefore, Siekaru did not collude with Yang Shiryu. And Yang Shiryu also concealed many things regarding Qin Yun's previous life. When Qin Yun thought of this, he believed that Siekaru is doing this for his own good. Imperial Preceptor Sister, I've cultivated with Bing Xing. Cultivating 9 revolutions immortal power together will increase my speed by a lot. Qin Yun said with a smile. Xiao Yun, you are really amazing. Bing Xing actually let you go and even cultivated the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra with you. Siekaru said with a smile. It seems like your charm is the same as your previous life. Imperial Preceptor Sister, I also want to cultivate immortal devil body. I got a few immortal origins soon after. Qin Yun told Siekaru about the many immortal and devil blood he obtained. He also briefly explained the matter of the immortal origins. After Siekaru finished listening, she was silent for a long time before she said, Xiao Yun, you indeed possess the conditions to cultivate immortal devil body, but it is rather dangerous. However, once you cultivate it, it will be of great help to you in the future. Fortunately, your cultivation is not high and you have an immortal by your side, so I can rest assured and let you cultivate immortal devil body. Bing Xing is a woman and she can cultivate with you. It should be considered heaven's will. With her help, you should be able to cultivate immortal devil body. Qin Yun is secretly excited and asked, Imperial Preceptor Sister, what should I do? Put the immortal and devil blood in a container each. Then put a large number of Devil Cultivator Dao cores or Devil Cultivator half immortal life crystals inside the immortal blood. And in the devil blood, put a half immortal life crystal or Dao core. Wait for the blood inside the container to react. If everything goes smoothly, the devil blood will turn golden and the immortal blood will turn transparent. At this time, you can pour the 2 kinds of blood together and then use the fresh blood to boil the blood. Then you can jump in. Finally, let Bing Xing be beside the container and cultivate with you. Let her release her strongest immortal power to guide the immortal and devil blood to refine your body. Of course, this requires both you and Bing Xing to master the immortal devil sacred body art. I will teach you this cultivation method. Chapter 712. Immortal Demon Sacred Body Art. Qin Yun seriously memorized the mantra Siekaru taught him. As he listened, he was secretly alarmed because he was very familiar with one part of it. In other words, it was the mantra for him to cultivate the 9 revolutions immortal power. As he listened, he suddenly realized that it was similar to the other 2 mental cultivation methods that he had cultivated. This is very similar to the Star Yang Heart Sutra and the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra that I comprehended. Although Qin Yun was astonished, he did not immediately ask. Instead, he continued listening. Siekaru spoke very slowly. This is to let Qin Yun remember it more clearly. She explained it several times before making Qin Yun recite it. Only then was she certain that Qin Yun could remember it completely. Even if Qin Yun can't remember, Ling Yun will remember. She has a super strong memory. Basically, she is managing Qin Yun's memories and absorbing all kinds of memories. When you see Bing Xing, teach her this cultivation technique. If you can't figure out this cultivation technique, don't be in a hurry to cultivate. When the time comes, just let Bing Xing guide you. Siekaru said, Elder Sister Grand Preceptor, I've cultivated the Star Yang Heart Sutra and the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra before. I keep having the feeling that this immortal devil sacred body art is somewhat similar to those 2 cultivation techniques. Qin Yun voiced out his doubts. 9 Extinction Heart Sutra? That's also a holy technique. Siekaru said, Since you have cultivated the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra, I don't need to worry too much. You should be able to master the immortal devil sacred body art. When Qin Yun heard this, he was somewhat happy. He asked, What's the connection between those cultivation techniques? Yes, because these cultivation methods were all modified from a soul cultivation art. Back then, when that soul cultivation technique appeared, a group of experts went crazy to fight over it. Everyone was able to get a few pages, so they created new martial arts based on that soul cultivation technique. The Sun Moon Heart Sutra is also a martial art of the same origin. And the immortal devil sacred body art is the strongest among these martial arts because the person who created the immortal devil sacred body art obtained the most pages from that cultivation technique. Siakaru explained the origins of these profound martial arts. Qingyun looked forward to it as well. He wanted to obtain the complete soul cultivation art. Big Sister Grand Preceptor, you really know a lot of things. Qingyun sighed. In the future, I will tell you more about the 9 wastelands. I am your big sister imperial tutor, Siakaru said with a gentle smile. Qingyun was also very happy. Just as he was about to end the contact, he thought of something and asked, Elder Sister Grand Preceptor, if Bingxing asks me how I obtained this cultivation technique, how should I answer her? Just tell her honestly that you can contact me. Tell her that I'm only in your dreams. Don't tell her about the celestial graveyard diagram. I'm worried that she'll come looking for me. Siakaru solemnly warned. Xiaoyun, don't tell Yuji and Bingxing about the immortal graveyard diagram and me under the myriad star lake. Who is Yuji? Asked Qingyun. The young mistress of the Guanghan Palace is Yang Shiryu. She is very famous in the immortal desolate. Siakaru said with smile. She is getting along well with you. I don't have to worry anymore. Qingyun never expected Yang Shiryu's nickname to be Yuji. He could not help but associate it with the Moon Lady inscription spirit. All right, I heard from Bingxing that Yuelon and Little Malian souls are damaged. They need to repair their souls, right? Qingyun was more worried about them. It's not damage. It's to suppress the growth of the soul. If I grow too fast and my body can't keep up, it will be very troublesome. I made this big mistake, so I can only stay here and wait for my body and soul to be balanced before I could do other things. Siakaru faintly sighed. So you're saying that Yume and Big Sister Yang also need to suppress the growth of their souls? Qingyun asked. Suppressing the growth of their souls is beneficial to them. Furthermore, when they cultivate, they only need to cultivate their bodies. They don't need to worry about their soul cultivation. Siakaru's voice suddenly weakened a little. This was also the longest conversation Qingyun and Siakaru had had in many years. Elder Sister Imperial Tutor, are you tired? Then rest well, we'll talk next time, Qingyun said. And I also have to suppress my soul now, otherwise my body will be torn apart. Siakaru smiled. Get along well with Bingxing. She can use the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to cultivate with you. She trusts you once again. This is very rare. After Siakaru finished speaking, the blood energy overflowing from the immortal graveyard diagram gradually disappeared. Qingyun put away the immortal graveyard diagram and closed his eyes to properly digest the immortal devil sacred body art he just learned. Elder Sister Imperial Tutor is more powerful than I imagined. I originally thought that her matter was only related to the immortal desolate, but now it seems that it is also related to the sacred desolate. Ling Yuner said, the sacred desolate is too far away. Even I don't know when I'll be able to reach the immortal desolate. Qingyun sighed. Very soon, once you cultivate the immortal devil body and condense the immortal devil blood in your body, you'll be able to advance by leaps and bounds. Ling Yuner said with a smile, don't worry, you will definitely succeed. You have fused with the overwhelming righteous martial spirit, which can help you suppress the negative effects of the devil blood. Otherwise, with the devil blood in your body, you could be tormented by the devil blood at any time and easily lose your mind. And you have the overwhelming righteous martial spirit, so you are not afraid of this. Qingyun is also very excited at this moment. After calming down, he slept on the bed and hurriedly left the room for the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. Bingxing is also waiting for Qingyun beside the Immortal Pool, preparing to cultivate together with him. Qingyun, they have set up the 2 Immortal Origins. Very soon, the 3 Immortal Origins will be able to make the entire Immortal Weapon City's immortal energy become denser. Bingxing said, your cultivation speed of immortal body will also be very fast. Sister Bingxing, I want to cultivate the immortal devil body. Qingyun said with an excited smile. How are you going to cultivate? Bingxing slightly frowned. This is very difficult. Moreover, This is not allowed in the immortal desolate. Once people discover that you have the immortal devil body, they will kill you. Qin Yun suddenly asked with a mysterious expression, Sister Bingxing, have you heard of the immortal devil's sacred body art? When Bingxing heard Qin Yun say those words, her entire body trembled. Her ice-cold, jade-like face is also filled with shock. Where did you hear of this cultivation technique? Could it be that you've recovered your memories? Sister Bingxing, why are you always worried that I'll recover my memories? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Because I can't accept your past life. In this life, you are indeed a good person in my heart. If you really recover your memories, the trust between us will be shattered. Every time Bingxing thought of this matter, her mood is especially complicated, because she has a very complicated feeling towards Qin Yun's past life and current life. It was elder sister Imperial Tutor who told me about the immortal devil's sacred body art. She even taught me this cultivation technique. Qin Yun said, Who is your elder sister Imperial Tutor? Bingxing is astonished once again and quickly asked, Her name is Xie Karu. She is... Before Qin Yun could finish, he was interrupted by Bingxing, Emoji's daughter, Xian Karu. Bingxing opened her beautiful eyes wide and asked anxiously, Where is she? Is she in the immortal weapon palace? She's in my dreams. Sometimes she will suddenly appear and then guide me in cultivation. Qin Yun can only weave a lie to deceive Bingxing. Bingxing looked at Qin Yun in a daze. For a moment, she doesn't know what to say, because she always thought that Xiekaru might have died, and only her powerful immortal devil body did not die. Qin Yun knows that he deceived Bingxing in his past life, so he doesn't want to deceive her again in this life. Now, deceiving Bingxing can be considered as a white lie. He also understands Xiekaru's worry because Bingxing is indeed very concerned about Xiekaru. Qin Yun never expected that Xiekaru's previous life was called Xianqiru. After Sister Yang awakened her memories, she must have known that Xiekaru is Xianqiru. She also knew that elder sister Imperial Tutor was secretly plotting, but she didn't tell you about it. Maybe she was afraid of triggering your memories. Ling Yun'er said, Sister Bingxing, elder sister Imperial Tutor, told me the method to cultivate immortal devil body, but I need you to do it. Are you willing to help me? Qin Yun asked softly. Tell me the specifics. As long as I can do it, I'll help you. Bingxing let out a long sigh. She never expected that Emoji's daughter would have such a good relationship with Qin Yun. This once again impacted her understanding of Qin Yun. It made her feel even more that Qin Yun's past life must have had some unspeakable secret that caused him to deceive her. How long have you known Sister Kiru? Why did she appear in your dream? Bingxing asked. I've known her since I was very young. I've told you before about what happened to me in the Imperial Palace. After Big Sister Grand Preceptor suddenly left, I never saw her again. After that, she only occasionally appeared in my dreams. When Qin Yun heard Bingxing call Xiekaru Sister Karu, he knew the relationship between Bingxing and Xiekaru. If she is the one who guided you in cultivating immortal devil body, then I believe that you will be able to cultivate it, Bingxing said. Soon after, Qin Yun simply repeated the process and then imparted the immortal devil sacred body art to Bingxing. Bingxing has a powerful soul and mental power. She memorized it after hearing it once. However, Qin Yun still made her recite it once before feeling relieved. Sister Bingxing, did Sister Kiru cultivate the immortal devil sacred body art before? Qin Yun asked curiously. No, she obtained it later and was sealed because of it. I thought that her soul was already dead. I didn't expect that she would reincarnate. Bingxing's eyes flickered. She's trying to guess what Xiekaru wants to do. Sister Kiru and I were sealed at about the same time, but how did she find Qin Yun's bastard past life? When she was sealed, what did Qin Yun's bastard past life do? How could Yu Ji and the other girls be so hell-bent on him? Bingxing suddenly wants to know about Qin Yun's past life. Only Qin Yun can awaken his memories. However, she doesn't want Qin Yun to awaken his memories. She is worried that he will become that bastard. I'm going to use the sun and moon immortal bed to comprehend the immortal devil sacred body art. Wait for me outside. After Bing Xing finished speaking, she jumped into the immortal pool. Chapter 7:13. Blood refining. Qin Yin did not stay idle outside. He took out 2 containers. They are 2 specially refined vats that are half the height of a person. It is not a problem for 2 people to sit inside. They were originally used to store king-grade beast oil, but now they're used to store devil blood and immortal blood. He followed Xie Keru's instructions and placed the devil blood and immortal blood into a large vat. He stored the blood in the Nether Sun Dao core and did not absorb and refine it. Now he can release it. Inside the Nether Sun Dao core, there's a very special space. Everything that is sucked and will float up. Coupled with Ling Yun Er's empty space, it can store many special things. After the blood was sucked in, Ling Yun helped seal it very well. Soon, the 2 vats were filled with blood. The devil blood is black and the immortal blood is alternating between golden and red. Then he put in the Dao cores of martial kings, martial emperors, or half-immortals, as well as life crystals. They all contain very strong energy that can make the blood even stronger. The vats of devil blood are filled with devil cultivators, Dao cores, and life crystals. In the Sword Immortal Villas Plaza, there are many half-immortals from the Devil Xian Domain and Devil Desolate, so Qin Yin also obtained many of their life crystals. Yin, are there devils in the Immortal Desolate? Qin Yin asked. Devils who become immortals are devil immortals. They also exist in the Immortal Desolate, and their power is very great. There are also some immortals who change their cultivation to devil immortals. Ling Yun said, you will know when you go to the Immortal Desolate in the future. There are still a lot of those guys in the Immortal Desolate. The cultivation of devils is so extreme, they can actually cultivate to immortal. Qin Yin curled his lips and said, they are not immortals. They are just as strong as immortals. That's why they are called devil immortals. Ling Yun said, the devil blood very quickly reacted and gradually turned golden. The immortal blood also turned transparent. After the 2 vats of blood changed, they also became a lot less. The originally full vats are now less than half full. It seems to be going very smoothly, just as Xie Keru said. Qin Yin looked at the 2 buckets of blood and said with a frown, next, I need to use my blood to boil this blood. Can my blood do it? You have a heavenly lion bloodline. Your blood contains a very strong flame energy. You could try to ignite your own blood. Ling Yun said. Qin Yun poured the 2 buckets of blood together. They turned golden and emitted a golden light. The blood energy gave people a very strong feeling. He began to let his blood drip into the vat. Qin Yun cultivated the heavenly lion Xian body. Not only does he have a lot of blood, he can also breed it quickly. The vat was originally full, but after Qin Yun's blood fell into it, it did not fill up. My heavenly lion blood seems to have fused with the immortal devil blood. Qin Yun said with a frown. Yes, let's get some flames to try. Maybe we can ignite it. Ling Yun laughed. Just as Qin Yun had this thought, the vat of immortal fiend blood emitted hot air and then ignited into flames. How strange, I just wanted my blood to burn. And it actually did. Qin Yun quickly dripped a little blood on the ground and used his mind to control it. Soon, the drop of blood ignited into a golden flame. I can actually make my own flame burn at will. Will that make the blood in my body burn as well? Qin Yun never thought of such a thing. Now, under the control of his will, he immediately felt the blood in his body burning, producing waves of steaming hot air. He controlled the blood in his body to burn and shot it out. Boom! The energy rushed into the distance and burst into flames. And under the control of his mind, the burning blood in his body also stopped. Qin Yun has a powerful heavenly lion Xian body, and the burning of the heavenly lion blood will not cause any harm to his body. It seems that my understanding of the heavenly lion bloodline is not enough. Qin Yun was pleasantly surprised and said with a laugh, if I go to fight again in the future, I can just let my blood burn and produce a very strong energy. Combined with my Dao power, I will definitely be stronger. After Qin Yun was happy, He continued to drip his blood, and then controlled his blood to burn the immortal devil blood in the vat. The burning process is very difficult. The immortal devil blood is not that easy to boil. I've been dripping blood for more than half a day, and it's only a little warm, Qin Yin said with a frown. If this goes on, I need to quickly replenish my blood. Don't worry, you can take your time, Ling Yin said with a smile. Wait for Bing Xing to come out. She should be able to help you quickly produce blood. Qin Yin continued to bleed. After an entire day, the vat of immortal devil blood did not produce any heat. At this time, Bing Xing also flew out of the immortal pool and slowly floated to Qin Yun's side. She borrowed the sun and moon immortal bed to let her consciousness enter the sun and moon space-time realm. She laid down for a day, and her consciousness passed for a year. She also mastered the initial stage of the immortal devil sacred body art, enough to help Qin Yun refine his immortal devil body. Why do you look so weak? The moment Bing Xing came out, she saw Qin Yun sitting on the ground. I'm using my blood to burn the immortal devil blood. My blood isn't recovering that fast, so I became like this. Qin Yun continuously bled for an entire day. It is already very good that he can still speak. When Bing Xing saw Qin Yun's haggard appearance, she felt an indescribable heartache in her heart. She walked over and sat beside Qin Yun. Then, she inserted her lily-white hands into Qin Yun's clothes and actually touched his chest. Qin Yun is stunned. He thought that Bing Xing wanted to eat his tofu. Bing Xing is indeed touching Qin Yun's chest and rubbing it. It is unknown what she is doing. Qin Yun, who is in a daze, cannot help but feel his mind ripple and his old face turned red. He looked at Bing Xing's expressionless, beautiful face and asked in a low voice, Sister Bing Xing, what are you doing? You are making me feel very comfortable. Qin Yun's chest is indeed feeling very comfortable after being massaged by Bing Xing's lily-white hands. Just as he finished speaking, Bing Xing fiercely tore his clothes. Qin Yun immediately cursed in his heart. He widened his eyes and shouted, Sister Bing Xing, what are you doing? Ling Yin giggled and said, Of course she wants to do it with you. Lie down and enjoy. Bing Xing looked at Qin Yun's robust upper body and lightly snorted. Her lily-white hands overflowed with white gas and fiercely pierced toward Qin Yun's chest. It actually penetrated through. Don't move, Bing Xing shouted sternly. Qin Yun sat on the ground. He is so shocked that he is tongue-tied, because his heart is being caressed by Bing Xing's gentle lily-white hands. The feeling is very strange and indescribable. At this moment, he suddenly felt a warm and gentle power enter his heart. Quickly control your heart's heartbeat and transfer the blood I send into your entire body. Bing Xing shouted because Qin Yun's heart has stopped beating. Oh! Qin Yun promptly controlled his heart to beat faster. Not long after, he felt that all the blood in his body has recovered. Continue letting out blood to burn that barrel of immortal devil blood. Bing Xing saw that Qin Yun has recovered and retracted her hand. Qin Yun did not take out new clothes to wear. He is somewhat puzzled in his heart. Why did Bing Xing not let him take off his clothes and instead directly tear them apart? Ling Yin giggled and said, Xiao Yun, it seems like this cold and elegant fairy has always wanted to strip your clothes. Hee. Don't talk nonsense. Qin Yun continued letting out blood to burn the immortal devil blood. With Bing Xing by his side, Qin Yun dared to boldly let out blood. With Bing Xing's help, whenever Qin Yun's blood is insufficient, she would help him recover. Every time, she would rub the skin around his heart. Therefore, Bing Xing ate a lot of his tofu. Every time I rub the area around your heart, I am releasing a special power to relax your muscles so that I can use a special method to reach my hand into your heart. Bing Xing said. Her hand can directly penetrate Qin Yun's skin and grab his heart. However, Qin Yun's skin is not harmed. This is indeed very miraculous. Qin Yun said with a smile. Sister Bing Xing, don't worry. I didn't say that you took advantage of me. What's so good about taking advantage of you? Bing Xing coldly snorted. How is it not good? Why don't you let me touch it too? Qin Yun said this and immediately shut his mouth. If you dare have such thoughts again, I'll take out your heart and give it to you well on. Bing Xing's hand that is grabbing Qin Yun's heart suddenly turned ice cold, causing Qin Yun's entire body to emit cold air. Qin Yun said with a dry laugh, I was just speaking casually. At this moment, Ling Yun'er's charming laughter resounded in Qin Yun's mind. She said with a smile, Xiao Yun, you suffered a great loss because of her, but there's nothing you can do? Don't tell me you're going to give in just like that. You're a big man. You've been taken advantage of by her, and yet you're like a coward. After being ridiculed by Ling Yun, Qin Yun really wanted to reach his hand into his head, grab that lecherous little fairy, and beat her up. Qin Yun, don't tell Yue Lan about this matter, lest she overthinks it. Bing Xing suddenly said. She's broad-minded and won't fuss over such a small matter. Qin Yun said with a smile. Aren't you afraid that she'll be angry? Bing Xing sneered. When I helped little sister Yin transform her body, a rather awkward thing happened, but I also told the process to Yue Lan. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Sister Bing Xing, you don't know enough about Yue Lan. What body transformation? What's wrong with Rian's body? Bing Xing asked curiously. Because in the immortal weapon fantasy field, she took care of Jian Ruyan and guided her in cultivation. Qin Yun simply explained the process to Bing Xing, and she was very surprised to hear it. Even if Yue Lan doesn't mind, don't tell her about what happened in the forbidden area last time. Bing Xing slightly narrowed her eyes. If you tell her, you're dead. Qin Yun felt his heart turn cold again and immediately nodded. Because Qin Yun was beside the immortal pool in the forbidden area, and Bing Xing happened to be naked. Qin Yun released his blood for the last time, and the immortal devil blood in the vat began to boil. Hurry up and go in. Bing Xing touched the golden immortal devil blood and urged. Chapter 714. Destruction and Rebirth. Just as Qin Yun was about to jump into the immortal devil blood, he was stopped by Bing Xing. Sister Bing Xing, what's wrong? Qin Yun asked. Take off your clothes and go in. Bing Xing said coldly. This immortal devil blood has been refined to a very pure state. Your clothes will definitely have an effect on the blood. Qin Yun suddenly felt a little shy and said in embarrassment, Sister Bing Xing, can you turn around? I can't. You looked at me last time. I want to get back at you this time. Bing Xing's voice is stern and ice cold. Hurry up. Qin Yun is so shocked that his mouth opens so wide that a fist can fit inside. This Bing Xing is actually this vengeful. Qin Yun coughed dryly twice and can only take off his clothes with a perturbed heart. Bing Xing took a few glances and shouted, You can go in now. The vat is half the height of a person. Qin Yun can only sit inside and soak his entire body. He asked, Sister Bing Xing, I've shown you back. We're even. You're not allowed to tell Yue Lan about this. Bing Xing said expressionlessly. You have to continue letting out blood and let the blood boil. Qin Yun continued letting out blood, causing the immortal devil blood in the vat to boil violently. Ling Yun'er said, Xiao Yun, you're too useless. You've been bullied by a woman to this extent. Yun'er, Sister Bing Xing is not an ordinary woman. She's an immortal. I'm weak. It's normal for me to be bullied by her. Qin Yun said unhappily. You have to take advantage of her. You're at a disadvantage. Ling Yun lightly snorted. Me taking advantage of her? Isn't that courting death? What if she plucks out my heart? That would be terrible. Qin Yun doesn't dare to have that kind of thought. You're still too young. Let big sister teach you. Ling Yun said with a smile. Just pretend to be in pain and let her kiss your mouth. Isn't that enough? Qin Yun suddenly looked at Bing Xing, who was standing beside the vat. Bing Xing crossed her arms over her chest. Her beautiful eyes flickered as she stared at Qin Yun. Qin Yun looked at the ice, cold immortal, and felt somewhat conflicted in his heart. He suddenly wanted to kiss this immortal, but he felt that it would be courting death. Forget it. Let's wait until the time is ripe. Qin Yun dispelled that thought. He also didn't want to be led astray by Ling Yun. Ling Yun knew what Qin Yun was thinking. She curled her lips and said, You actually have no confidence in my plan. You really disappoint me. If I fail, the one being tortured by Bing Xing won't be you. It'll be me. Qin Yun said unhappily. Don't give me stupid ideas all day. You have that kind of idea. You have made progress, not bad, not bad. Ling Yun laughed happily. I just feel that she has taken advantage of me, so I want to take it back. Qin Yun said unhappily. Yes, that's it, Ling Yun said. At this moment, Bing Xing suddenly extended her hand into the vat and placed it on Qin Yun's chest. Again, Qin Yun cursed in his heart. He suddenly felt that Bing Xing had intentionally or unintentionally taken advantage of him. Qin Yun is sitting in the vat, leaning against it. Bing Xing is standing behind him. She bent down slightly, extended her hand, and placed it on Qin Yun's chest. I'm going to start cultivating with you. Are you ready? Bing Xing asked. Prepare? How should I prepare? Qin Yun also felt that soaking in the immortal devil blood is too tranquil. Only now did he realize that Bing Xing has not started cultivating with him. The final step is for Bing Xing to help guide him to absorb the immortal devil blood. The process might be very painful. Bing Xing said, Come on, what is pain? I don't even know. In my memories, there is no such thing as pain. Qin Yun laughed loudly. Don't cry in a moment. Bing Xing sneered, and then began using Sun and Moon Heart Sutra to cultivate with Qin Yun. Once the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra is unleashed smoothly, she will use the immortal devil sacred body art to guide the immortal devil blood into Qin Yun's body. Not long after, the immortal devil blood began pouring into Qin Yun's body. Oh! Qin Yun suddenly screamed. When the boiling immortal devil blood entered his body, it seems like it wants to tear his skin apart. What is even more terrifying is that the immortal devil blood is wreaking havoc in his body. In a short while, his bones, muscles, and tendons are broken and shattered. His internal organs have been crushed by the immortal devil blood that entered his body. This process is extremely painful. Qin Yun can only scream crazily. Bing Xing is also at the side. She released her power to press down on his body, not allowing his movements to be too intense. On the surface, Qin Yun does not have any injuries, but the inside of his body has turned into mud. This immortal devil blood is very strong. Furthermore, under the urging of the immortal devil sacred body art, it has become even more berserk and will destroy everything in your body. Then, the immortal devil sacred body art will control the immortal devil blood and recast everything in your body. Then repeat the process, destroy and recast again. Bing Xing, who is behind Qin Yun, also knows that Qin Yun is in great pain. She doesn't know why, but her heart is throbbing with pain. Qin Yun, if you can endure it, you will be able to successfully cultivate immortal devil body. If you fail, you might be crippled. Bing Xing's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind. Sister Kuru knows that I am by your side. That's why she let me help you cultivate with ease. Sister Kiru entrusted this heavy responsibility to me. The pressure on me is also very great. You must successfully endure it. Sister Bing Xing, I will definitely endure it. Qin Yun endured the pain and said. One day passed by. The pain did not lessen, and Qin Yun also felt that his body has become stronger. Previously, when the immortal devil blood entered his body, it immediately wreaked havoc inside his body like mud. And now, after a large amount of immortal devil blood entered his body, the regenerated muscles and tendons in his body can resist for a while. However, this will make his pain last even longer. At the beginning, he only endured a short period of pain before his body's insides were destroyed. Then, his insides began to be regenerated. As the insides of his body became stronger, the process of his insides being destroyed also became longer. Therefore, the pain he endured became longer. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days passed. The pain Qin Yun is enduring every day is constantly increasing. Countless thoughts of giving up have appeared in his heart. If not for Bing Xing encouraging him from the side, he would have definitely shouted to give up. His body had also become very strong. It would take 2 hours for his internal organs and bones to be completely destroyed. This was also the reason why the pain kept increasing. Qin Yun shouted and screamed. His voice is filled with despair. Bing Xing also felt very uncomfortable watching from the side. In the blink of an eye, 10 days passed. It will take 6 hours for the insides of Qin Yun's body to be destroyed and enter the rebirth stage. As long as the insides of your body are no longer destroyed by the blood, you will have succeeded, Bing Xing said. You should succeed soon. Sister Bing Xing, I want to give up. Qin Yun has now entered the rebirth state. Everything in his body has also turned into a mess. You can't give up because once this process stops, you will be greatly affected. Bing Xing shook her head and said, there is still a lot of immortal devil blood left in the large barrel, and it has not dried up. That is why Qin Yun feels incomparable despair. He feels that there is no end in sight. He feels that the large barrel of immortal devil blood must change and dry up before he can succeed. Bing Xing also knows what Qin Yun is thinking, so she can only encourage him. I feel that I can't persevere anymore. Qin Yun has never collapsed like this before. It can be seen that this process is extremely painful. He endured for 10 days, and this is only the beginning. Thinking about how many more days he will have to endure, he felt incomparable despair. Can't persevere anymore? Then why did you cultivate immortal devil body back then? Bing Xing said coldly. Sister Karu also told you that it is very dangerous. You can't even endure this kind of suffering. How can you become stronger? Sister Karu possesses a powerful immortal devil body, but she is still unable to contend against immortal emperors. If you want to help Sister Karu, it will be impossible without formidable power. With your current state, how can you contend against powerful immortal emperors? Hearing Bing Xing's words, Qin Yun finally mustered up his courage and gritted his teeth to endure. Not long after, the pain began again. Qin Yun soaked for a total of half a month, but the barrel of immortal devil blood did not lose anything. Qin Yun, your current body is not strong enough, so you haven't absorbed much of this immortal devil blood. You need to refine a strong body so that you can quickly absorb the immortal devil blood. Bing Xing is only guessing. She is not clear about the specifics. She only knows that she must do this. Qin Yun can no longer shout to give up. He can only endure the incomparable pain. This kind of process is like he is being decomposed bit by bit. Moreover, he can clearly feel that this process is repeated over and over again. It is very frightening. If not for Qin Yun's extraordinary willpower, he would have definitely lost his mind from the torture and become a retard. Another 15 days passed. Qin Yun soaked in that barrel for a month. Qin Yun roared in pain every day, and Bing Xing is also not feeling well. Because of the mental torture, she suddenly discovered that she cares a lot about Qin Yun. Now, it will take a total of 20 hours for Qin Yun's body to be destroyed. This means that during this process, he won't have the chance to breathe, because he has to endure 20 hours of pain to enter the rebirth stage. Bing Xing saw Qin Yun's eyes turn red and black and immediately became extremely frightened in her heart, because it is the prelude of collapse. Qin Yun did not give up, but he thought that he would not be able to endure this kind of pain and his mind would collapse. In serious cases, his soul might even fly away and scatter. This is also the risk of cultivating immortal devil body. Bing Xing bit her lips, then took off her clothes and jumped into the barrel. She hugged the painfully struggling Qin Yun from behind. Qin Yun felt as if he has fallen into an abyss of pain. But now he suddenly felt a strange power pouring into his body, helping him alleviate the pain and allowing him to gradually regain consciousness. Soon, he discovered that Bing Xing is actually hugging him. You will definitely succeed. Bing Xing used Sun and Moon Heart Sutra and continued guiding the immortal devil blood into Qin Yun's body. Bing Xing's cheek pressed against Qin Yun's broad back, causing Qin Yun to feel an indescribable gentleness, causing his pain to lessen by a lot. Sister Bing Xing, thank you, Qin Yun said. Chapter 7:15. Evil Devil abyssed the pain in Qin Yun's body lessened a bit. Perhaps because he is in such close contact with Bing Xing, his mind has been comforted to a certain extent. He can feel Bing Xing's warm body. He can feel a very soft touch. He found it hard to believe that this usually ice-cold woman is now so gentle and warm from head to toe. Bing Xing tightly hugged Qin Yun from behind. Their bodies are very close to each other. When she cultivates the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, she can quickly guide the immortal devil blood into Qin Yun's body. Furthermore, Bing Xing can also transfer her power into Qin Yun's body more comprehensively, reducing his pain. Even so, Qin Yun still feels very painful. However, whenever he struggles in pain and feels that he can't hold on any longer, he always feels a warm current that is as gentle as water flowing from his back and then flowing through his entire body, temporarily reducing his pain. Qin Yun is now very grateful to Bing Xing. He does not have any other thoughts in his heart. Qin Yun, since Sister Kiru chose you, she must have taken a fancy to some aspect of you. Bing Xing's voice resounded in Qin Yun's mind. And I definitely won't let her down. Qin Yun also wants to help Xie Kiru completely get rid of the immortal tomb. Bing Xing also knows that Qin Yun is working very hard. For example, just now he clearly had a mental breakdown, but he bitterly endured and did not shout to give up. This process is so difficult that it makes Bing Xing feel fear. When she saw Qin Yun's painful appearance, she knew that no matter who it is, they would find it hard to endure. Even she would not be able to succeed. In the blink of an eye, a few days passed. The amount of immortal devil blood in the vat gradually decreased. Qin Yun also gradually fell into a semi-conscious state. Especially in the last few days, he endured more than 20 hours of pain. His body quickly regenerated and then entered a state of destruction. The immortal devil blood entered his body, and it took more than 20 hours to tear apart his bones, muscles, and internal organs. This kind of pain is especially dreadful. Fortunately, he managed to endure it. Now, Qin Yun's mind is also being ravaged. After relaxing, he entered a state of self-recovery. Bing Xing hugged Qin Yun and gently jumped out of the vat and landed on the immortal pool. She hugged Qin Yun and dived into the bottom of the immortal pool and entered the immortal origin. She hugged Qin Yun and laid on the sun-moon immortal bed. Then, she continued to cultivate and released a type of immortal power to nourish Qin Yun's body. At this moment, Qin Yun's body is entering a metamorphosis stage. The process is very miraculous. Bing Xing, who is hugging Qin Yun, can clearly sense that a peculiar and powerful power is being produced within Qin Yun's body. Very soon, she brought Qin Yun's consciousness into the sun-moon space-time realm. After Qin Yun's consciousness entered, he was still in a slumbering state. Bing Xing sighed softly. He should be able to pass this final trial. The final trial was for Qin Yun to walk out of the abyss of pain. After experiencing more than a month of devastation, Qin Yun was on the brink of a mental breakdown. That kind of pain had completely destroyed all the beautiful memories in his heart, tearing apart his happy and beautiful memories. This was also the reason why demonic cultivators were so brutal. It was because demonic cultivators used this extreme method to cultivate their bodies to obtain power, causing their beautiful and righteous memories to be stripped away. It also distorted their concept of beauty and happiness, because those demonic arts told them that they had to kill, eat, and abuse living beings in order to satisfy their spiritual pleasure. If Qin Yun was unable to reconstruct his former spirit, then he would give birth to a new evil mental concept. That would be the beginning of him falling into the devil Tao. Pain has already made Qin Yun despair of everything beautiful in the world. It even tore apart his thoughts of helping Xie Kiru. Even the beauty of Qi Meiyin and Xiao Yuelon gradually became blurry. Because of a distortion of his mind, all kinds of people appeared in his mind. All of them have sinister faces, making him want to destroy them. Even the most innocent and pure Qi Meiyin and Lu Jingming, when they appeared in his mind, had sinister and sinister faces. He also recalled the time when he was stripped of his spirit vein when he was a child. Looking at those sinister faces, he felt that they were very pleasing to the eye. Especially when he saw Empress Yi. He felt that she was very beautiful. This means that his worldview is gradually distorting. Xiao Yun, quickly pull yourself together. Ling Yuner shouted. Shut up, you soul worm. You steal my memories all day long. So annoying. I wish I could kill you. Earlier, Qin Yun was indeed disgusted by Ling Yun's appearance. But later, he found Ling Yun very interesting and treated her as a close friend. And now, the deep feelings between him and Ling Yun have been torn apart because of the endless pain. Because while enduring the pain, he felt very helpless and desperate, so he gradually hated the friends around him. He hated everyone. If I die, your Tao core will also be finished. You idiot. You actually let evil thoughts invade your soul. Ling Yun is also very angry. Of course, she's also very clear that the devil blood originally contained a large amount of evil devil power. Even though Qin Yun has the overwhelming righteous martial spirit, he is unable to purify those evil consciousnesses. He has to rely on himself. Then hurry up and die. I want to see how I'm finished. Ha ha. Qin Yun laughed crazily. Bing Xing can also hear the words that came out of his mouth. The sleeping Qin Yun's handsome face is already filled with all kinds of malevolence, causing her to be secretly alarmed. Bing Xing has never dealt with this kind of thing before, and she is also panicking. Because Qin Yun's current reaction is extremely similar to falling into the devil Tao. It is very difficult for a person who has fallen into the devil Tao to climb out of that abyss. Although Ling Yun is experienced and knowledgeable, she has no other choice. She can only control Qin Yun's memories and release those beautiful memories again and again. Damn it, why does he have so little memory of his mother? Ling Yun cannot help but curse in a low voice because she discovered that Qin Yun's memory of his mother is very short. Only a few beautiful moments. Something must have happened to his mother. Siekaru did not want Xiao Yun to know, so she took it away. Ling Yun is even more certain of this matter. Just as Ling Yun is pondering about this matter, she suddenly felt a large amount of memories surge out from Qin Yun's mind. They're all memories that he lost when he was young. Ling Yun finally saw how Qin Yun saved Xiao Yuelon. It also made her feel extremely shocked. Xiao Yuelon was bullied by a few arrogant princes in the Tian Shao Empire's imperial palace. That kind of bullying was not just teasing, it was abuse. At that time, the young Qin Yun, after seeing this, went to save the injured Xiao Yuelon and let her escape. After that, Qin Yun was beaten up by the few 10-year-old princes of Tian Shao. They used all sorts of torture methods to torture him for several hours. The young Qin Yun did not faint, so he also suffered that kind of pain for a few hours and almost fell into the devil Tao. Later, he was rescued by Siekaru and brought back for treatment. What made Ling Yun even more surprised is that because of that incident, Qin Yun actually produced a mysterious and evil power that covered his entire body. As for Qin Yun's mother, in order to prevent little Qin Yun from falling into the devil Tao, she introduced that evil power in her body and finally died because of it. As previously guessed, Siekaru once asked the young Qi Milan to help take away a portion of Qin Yun's memories. Therefore, the young Qin Yun also forgot that he had saved Xiao Yuelon. Ling Yun finally understood why Xiao Yuelon was so devoted to Qin Yun. If Qin Yun had not saved her back then, Xiao Yuelon would have been tortured to death. At that time, Xiao Yuelon also saw little Qin Yun after being tortured. This is bad. This kind of memory will aggravate Xiao Yun's fall into the devil Tao. Ling Yun is extremely anxious. Back then, Siekaru did not want Qin Yun to have a shadow, so she sealed those memories. But now, Qin Yun dug them out himself. Sure enough, after Qin Yun dug out this memory, he completely fell into a state of madness. He roared and shouted, "I want to kill you! I want to kill you!" His voice is like a savage and frightening beast, deep and hoarse. When Bing Xing saw this, she immediately brought Qin Yun's consciousness out of the sun and moon spacetime realm. She saw that Qin Yun's body is gradually turning black and overflowing with black scales. Devil scales? Bing Xing is even more alarmed. She used all kinds of methods, but none of them were able to suppress the expansion of the evil power in Qin Yun's body. Just as Bing Xing is panicking, a delicate and sweet voice suddenly appeared in her mind. "Sister Bing Xing, don't panic. Do as I say, and you can help Xiao Yun get through this crisis. This is Ling Yun Er's voice. You, who are you? Bing Xing looked at Qin Yun in her arms and asked in surprise. I'm his Tao spirit. If you want to help Xiao Yun, do as I say. Ling Yun Er said anxiously. If this goes on, he will be finished. Tell me, what should I do? Bing Xing asked. She is extremely shocked in her heart. She never expected that Qin Yun would actually cultivate a Tao spirit. Quickly kiss him. Ling Yun coughed dryly and said, Sister Bing Xing, I am his Tao spirit. I also share all of his memories. At this moment, all kinds of beautiful memories in his mind have been distorted. However, there's only one thing, and that is his guilt towards you. Even now, he still feels very guilty towards you, because he always felt that his past life owed you, and this originally had nothing to do with him. Ling Yun said. Bing Xing became silent for a moment, then tightly hugged the crazy Qin Yun and said softly, Then what's the use of me kissing him? If you kiss him, it means that you have completely accepted him. It can dispel the guilt in his heart and let him have a little bit of a good feeling. As long as you bring a little bit of light to his dark memories, you can illuminate his dark memory world. Ling Yun saw Bing Xing hesitating and lightly snorted. Sister Bing Xing, I can see that your feelings for Xiao Yun have deepened. Kissing him shouldn't be a problem for you, right? Chapter 716. Guilt in his heart. Qin Yun, who is in Bing Xing's embrace, gradually turned pitch black. His black muscles overflowed with traces of evil energy. The situation is getting worse and worse. What if I kiss him and there's no effect? Bing Xing's expression is complicated as she looked at Qin Yun, who is lying on her thigh. Ling Yun secretly cursed Qin Yun, because at this moment, Qin Yun and Bing Xing are so intimate. Furthermore, he is lying on Bing Xing's thigh, but he has fallen into an unconscious state. He is completely unaware that he is in such a wonderful moment. There will definitely be an effect. Get a try first. Since you like him, it's not a big deal to kiss him. You won't get pregnant. Ling Yun urged. I don't like him. I'm only helping Sister Kiru by helping him like this. Bing Xing promptly shouted. Ling Yun saw how big her reaction is and realized that Bing Xing is lying. All right. Then you can give a try now. If you are any slower, even if you and him have a wedding night, you won't be able to save him. Ling Yun said, Tao spirit, why is your head filled with filthy thoughts? I really don't understand. Qin Yun is such a person with integrity, but you are like this. Bing Xing coldly snorted and said, Sister Bing Xing, don't talk nonsense. Hurry up. Ling Yun shouted, I will kiss him, but don't tell him about this. If he senses it, you can say that it's an illusion. If he doesn't believe it, you can say that it's an illusion you created. Bing Xing said, I don't want him to know about this. All right, I promise you. Don't dawdle. Qin Yun is almost done for. Ling Yun shouted anxiously. Bing Xing slightly sighed, then lowered her head and kissed Qin Yun. Clearly, this is her first time, and she is very inexperienced. Ling Yun used her mental power to communicate with Bing Xing, guiding her on what to do. Bing Xing used her mental power to communicate with Ling Yun. Does Qin Yun know what's happening? He doesn't know for now, but it should be of some use. Ling Yun said. Qin Yun, who is currently falling into the abyss of Devil Tao, felt that his mouth has been sealed. He is unable to shout because Bing Xing used her power to control it. She will not let Qin Yun struggle recklessly. Ling Yun, you soul worm, get out here. What did you do to me? I want to strangle you little devil to death. Qin Yun's mind is roaring. He thought that Ling Yun did it. Ling Yun shouted in Qin Yun's mental world. Qin Yun, Bing Xing is kissing you. She is helping you get out of this predicament. Hurry up and wake up. You owe her so much in your previous life. You have to pay it back in this life. She's sacrificing a lot to help you. When Qin Yun heard this, he was immediately stunned. He also suddenly became much more clear-headed. Then he also sent something. You bastard, enjoy the tenderness of fairy. When Ling Yun saw Qin Yun's dark memories gradually brighten up, she heaved a sigh of relief. Qin Yun's perception of the outside world became clearer. Very soon, he clearly sensed that Bing Xing is hugging him and sending him a gentleness filled with tender feelings. Unknowingly, Qin Yun's mind that is filled with negative emotions has gradually been suppressed. It is as if he is in a sleepwalking state, enjoying Bing Xing's gentleness. After Qin Yun, whose muscles have turned pitch black, calmed down, the black energy gradually disappeared. Because Bing Xing's kiss made the guilt in his heart even greater. Because he has disappointed Bing Xing. At the same time, he also felt a kind of love and care. He felt that he was not that helpless. At this moment, he also gradually recalled that when he was enduring the pain, Bing Xing was always by his side, using various methods to comfort him and help him alleviate the pain. However, he has forgotten all of this. He feels that he's been abandoned and feels very sorry for Bing Xing. That sense of guilt is getting stronger and stronger. Guilt is the only remaining positive energy in Qin Yun's mind. As long as he still has a trace of conscience, he would feel guilty after doing something wrong. His distorted mind, the memories shrouded in darkness, were also cleared by the intense guilt and gradually recovered. Xiao Yun, Bing Xing has always been helping you. She hated your previous life so much, but now she is able to let go of her grudge. Look at you. You almost abandoned your beliefs. If you're finished, who will protect her in the future? Who will help her? And you well on, little Malian, they are all your family. Your childhood memories have also recovered. You should know how your mother died, right? Ling Yun calmly comforted Qin Yun, arousing Qin Yun's spirit of protecting his family, advancing bravely and not fearing evil spirits. Mother died because of me. I must let her be reborn. Qin Yun said to Ling Yun, don't say that. Your mother obtained the immortal graveyard diagram and gave birth to you. She also transferred a demonic power into your body. Your mother sacrificed herself to protect you. Not only her, there is also little Malian and Yuelan's mother. In order to protect their children, they also experienced this. They were all killed by that kind of demonic power. You have to pull yourself together and don't fall into the demonic path. Otherwise, your mother's sacrifice would have been in vain. Ling Yun continued to enlighten Qin Yun. This is also the reason why she was born. Because he possesses the Nether Sun martial spirit, it is very easy for him to fall into the demonic path. He needs this kind of little fairy to constantly remind him. Yin, thank you. I'm really sorry for scolding you like that before. Qin Yun said very guiltily. It's fine, we're good friends. Of course I'll help you. Ling Yun giggled. Xiao Yun, if you want to kiss Sister Bing Xing more, then continue pretending to be unconscious. Or pretend to be crazy and move around. You can take the opportunity to touch her. She took advantage of you before. Now is a good time to take it back. Previously, Bing Xing had warned Ling Yun not to tell Qin Yun about this matter. And now, not only did Ling Yun tell Qin Yun about this matter, she even instigated Qin Yun to take advantage of her. If Bing Xing knew about this, she would definitely explode in anger. Qin Yun recovered, but he did not do as Ling Yun said. He accidentally moved his arm and accidentally touched something, causing Bing Xing's body to tremble. Bing Xing suddenly realized that Qin Yun is actually cooperating with her. What made her very angry is that when she contacted Ling Yun there is no reaction at all. Qin Yun is very grateful to Bing Xing in his heart. He does not want to take advantage of her. However, if he were to wake up directly, it would be very awkward. He also wants to pretend that this matter did not happen. Yin, tell Sister Bing Xing that my situation has stabilized and she can stop. Qin Yun said to Ling Yun, don't. This is a rare opportunity. Ling Yun lightly snorted. Yin, listen to me. If a woman is really dead set on me, there's no need to use these little tricks. Qin Yun said with a smile. Doing this will only produce the opposite of the desired result. All right. Ling Yun can only agree to Qin Yun. She transmitted her voice to Bing Xing and said, Sister Bing Xing, thank you. Xiao Yun's condition has stabilized. This move is indeed useful. Really? Then can I stop now? Bing Xing is secretly happy in her heart. He's in a dream. If you want to continue, then continue. I won't tell him about this anyway. Ling Yun giggled. You really won't tell him? Bing Xing said. Even if I tell him, he won't believe me. You don't know this, but this guy, Xiao Yun, doesn't have any evil thoughts towards you. He has a kind of guilt and reverence towards you. Although I'm a bit lecherous, this child Xiao Yun is very pure. You might not believe it, but he is still a virgin. Ling Yun suddenly realized that Bing Xing's feelings for Qin Yun are actually very deep, because she could have stopped, but now she is somewhat reluctant to part. Qin Yun, who is pretending to be asleep, is also in a daze because Bing Xing's hand is gently caressing his body. Bing Xing continued to feel warm for a moment before reluctantly stopping. She looked at Qin Yun's calm expression. Her ice-cold and absolutely beautiful jade-like face revealed a trace of a beautiful smile. Xiao Yun, did you feel just now? I already told Sister Bing Xing to stop, but she actually continued for a while and even touched her body. Ha ha ha! Sister Bing Xing is even more lecherous than I imagined. Ling Yun giggled and said. Qin Yun is also speechless. Bing Xing is still somewhat worried, so she did not immediately leave Qin Yun. Instead, she hugged him from behind and continued to cultivate together. She used her immortal power and guided Qin Yun to cultivate immortal devil body, according to the immortal devil sacred body art. Qin Yun only passed the hurdle of falling into the evil devil abyss. This allowed him to possess devil blood, but his soul would not be conquered by the evil devil. And now, he has entered the immortal stage. This stage is progressing very smoothly. Qin Yun also gradually felt the immortal power flowing in his body. He doesn't know if it is good or bad for him to cultivate immortal devil body at the early stage spirit martial realm, especially when he recalled his previous experience of falling into the evil devil abyss. It made him somewhat worried. Qin Yun's body gradually produced immortal devil blood. It is his own immortal devil blood, and he can completely control the power of the blood. Yin, doesn't that mean my heavenly lion Xian body is gone? Qin Yun asked. With immortal devil body, why do you still need heavenly lion Xian body? However, the power of heavenly lion bee soul is still in the bone spirit. Ling Yun said with a smile. You don't have Xian body now. You only have immortal devil body. Of course, your immortal devil body is still in the early stage. And the most powerful state should be the evolution to immortal devil sacred body. Qin Yun only felt that it is a pity. He just discovered that heavenly lion blood can be burned. Xiao Yun, don't worry. The characteristics of heavenly lion Xian body have also been absorbed by the immortal devil body. In the future, your immortal devil blood can also be burned. Ling Yun said with a smile. Yin I have successfully cultivated immortal devil body. Can you let Bing Xing not hug me? When I wake up, it won't be so embarrassing. Qin Yun said. All right. Ling Yun curled her lips and said. She is looking forward to what kind of expression Qin Yun and Bing Xing will have when they wake up. But she still did as Qin Yun said and said to Bing Xing, Sister Bing Xing, he is fine. You can let go of him. Otherwise, when he suddenly wakes up, you too will be embarrassed. Chapter 717. Nether moon covers the sun. Ling Yun who is inside Qin Yun's illusory space, is stunned for a moment before replying, He might wake up in about an hour. You better hurry up. This is a rare opportunity to take advantage of him. Otherwise, with your personality, it will be difficult for you to have such an opportunity in the future. As long as I want to, I can take advantage of him at any time. Bing Xing said proudly. Sister Bing Xing, I really want to become your Tao spirit. Ling Yun sincerely thought so, because she previously instigated Qin Yun to take advantage of Bing Xing, but Qin Yun refused no matter what. And Bing Xing has such thoughts. Bing Xing has incomparable trust in Ling Yun. However, she did not know that all of her actions were told to Qin Yun by Ling Yun. She was completely sold out by Ling Yun. Yin, can I wake up? Qin Yun asked Ling Yun inside the illusory space. Just as he finished asking, he felt Bing Xing kiss him. Yun damn you, what did you say to her? Why is it endless? Qin Yun immediately cursed. She asked me when you would wake up, and I said it would be in about an hour. Then she became like this. Ling Yun said unhappily. I already said that Sister Bing Xing deliberately took advantage of you. If you don't take advantage of her, she will take advantage of you. Don't blame me. She did it willingly. Sister Bing Xing is truly an ice-cold but inwardly flirtatious fairy. Qin Yun also agreed with Ling Yun's words. Bing Xing let go of Qin Yun and somewhat reluctantly caressed Qin Yun's robust body. She even kissed Qin Yun's neck. Her eyes are filled with deep love. After Bing Xing got off the bed, she took out a snow-white holy dress and put it on the bed. After tidying it up, she stood at the side and watched. She did not dare to leave, worried that Qin Yun would have other problems. Xiao Yun, she's dressed. Ling Yun said, but I'm not wearing it. Can you let her help me dress? Qin Yun asked. All right. Ling Yun sighed. Ling Yun found it somewhat funny because she is a middleman. She is in charge of passing on the message, but Qin Yun and Bing Xing do not know each other's thoughts. They all listened to Ling Yun. Ling Yun was very naughty, and the meaning she conveyed was always somewhat different. Sister Bing Xing, help him put on his clothes. You can eat his tofu again, Ling Yun said. Very quickly, Qin Yun regretted asking Ling Yun to ask Bing Xing to help him put on his clothes, because while pretending to be asleep, he was touched by Bing Xing again. Xiao Yun, when it comes to emotions, Sister Bing Xing is still a young girl. She was cheated so miserably by your previous life, but now she has fallen in love with you again. What a silly and sweet little girl. Ling Yun laughed tenderly. Go to hell with the silly, sweet girl. If she was really a naive and sweet girl, would she dare to be so bold as to disrespect a man? Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. He had been taken advantage of several times. Qin Yun can finally wake up. After he opened his eyes, he looked at Bing Xing and said with a smile, Sister Bing Xing, I seem to have successfully cultivated a mortal devil body. Thank you. This process was really painful. I felt like I was almost done for. It was like a nightmare. No need to be polite. I am helping Sister Kiru. Bing Xing said coldly. Qin Yun is very unhappy. Bing Xing has taken advantage of him time and time again. Now she's turning hostile and pretending to be ice cold. Something might have happened before. Just treat it as a dream. Don't ever mention it to you well on, otherwise. Otherwise I'll kill you. Bing Xing's voice is filled with threat as she said coldly. Are you willing to kill me? If you kill me, who will you kiss in the future? Qin Yun thought in his heart. Bing Xing suddenly wanted to contact Ling Yun and warn her about some things. However, Qin Yun has woken up and she is worried that Qin Yun will hear her voice transmission. Qin Yun, don't you have the purple gold moon martial spirit? Now that you have cultivated a powerful immortal devil body, even if you don't have the overwhelming righteous martial spirit, you can rely on your mind to resist the evil Yin power. Rest assured and let your mind transform into moon. Bing Xing said. Qin Yun is also impatient to transform his mind into moon and step into the middle stage spirit martial realm. This way, he will open the third pearl of the Nine Sun divine spirit for you. And I also want to break through quickly and then go find Big Sister Yang. Qin Yun said. Qin Yun, after you find Yuji, don't tell her about what happened between us just now. Bing Xing warned again. Don't worry, I'm a tight-lipped person. All right, what happened between us just now? As Qin Yun spoke, he took out a purple gold soul-sealing pearl. Nothing happened. You were just dreaming. Bing Xing took the soul-sealing pearl and looked at it before returning it to Qin Yun. Can you wrap the purple gold moon martial spirit around the spirit star crystal yourself? No problem. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he placed the soul-sealing pearl on his forehead. He previously absorbed many star Tao cores and ate many origin spirit Shen pills. He is only a little bit away from cultivating an origin spirit, and the purple gold moon martial spirit is the best opportunity. Qin Yun's mind transforming into moon is equivalent to cultivating an origin spirit. It is different from others. Very quickly, Qin Yun placed the purple gold moon martial spirit into his mind and fused it with his spirit star crystal. At this moment, Bing Xing also said, Qin Yun, I will infiltrate my mind into your spirit star crystal and help you break through. Sister Bing Xing, with someone helping me cultivate like this, will it affect me in the future? Qin Yun asked somewhat worriedly. It won't. In many great powers, elders often help juniors cultivate like this. Bing Xing said, Relax your mind. Let me guide your mind circulation. Qin Yun followed Bing Xing's instructions and gradually relaxed his mind. Not long after, he felt Bing Xing's mental power in her. She controlled the purple gold moon martial spirit and fused it with the spirit star crystal. The spirit star crystal is absorbing the power of the purple gold moon martial spirit at a very fast speed. It seems that under Bing Xing's control, the progress is very smooth and the speed is very fast. With his eyes closed, Qin Yun can also see a purple gold bright moon gradually appear in his mind. It is extremely beautiful, and it reminded him of Yang Shiryu. Yang Shiryu also had a beautiful purple gold moon martial spirit in the past. At noon, the 9 scorching suns in the sky are fiercely releasing scorching hot sunlight. Suddenly, one of the suns gradually turned black. Bing Xing seems to have also discovered it. She immediately walked out of the immortal origin and arrived outside the immortal weapon palace hall. When she saw the strange phenomenon in the sky, she knew that it was caused by Qin Yun's mind transforming into a moon. This kind of phenomenon can be seen by anyone in the spirit desolate. Qin Yun also arrived at the entrance of the immortal weapon palace hall. He saw that the sun has turned black and has a purple gold halo. He said in astonishment, Sister Bing Xing, does this have anything to do with me? At this moment, the sun also gradually recovered. It doesn't matter, don't think too much about it. Quickly go in, Bing Xing said. Sword Immortal Villa. Jian Shitian looked at the gradually recovering sun. His face is filled with shock. Jian Nanhu asked, Grandfather, what's going on? This kind of phenomenon seems to rarely appear. Sun and moon struggle. A powerful moon cultivator was born, causing the nether moon to cover the sun. Jian Shitian said with a frown. This is most likely caused by the people from the 3 moon sects. Grandfather, a month has passed. Why haven't the Xian domain people arrived yet? But 2 state kings have died. Furthermore, many of those devil sect masters have also died. The experts from the devil Xian domain and the spirit Xian domain are not going to interfere? Jian Nanhu asked curiously. Maybe they don't have the energy to ask. Jian Shitian laughed. Even if they come out, they will probably run to the remote Moon Mountain range and directly capture Yang Shiryu. Even if they come out to ask and find out that it was Qin Yun who did it, would they dare to look for Qin Yun? Jian Nanhu said, Qin Yun is so powerful, and he has the help of an immortal. The immortal weapon city has also obtained so many immortal origins. I need to cultivate even harder. I must defeat him. No one dare to go to the immortal weapon city to cause trouble for Qin Yun, because that would be no different from courting death. Everyone knows that there is a mysterious and powerful immortal hidden in the immortal weapon palace. Furthermore, Qin Yun is that immortal's sweetheart. Whoever goes to cause trouble for Qin Yun will die for sure. Qin Yun returned to the immortal weapon palace hall and stretched his waist. He said with a smile, Sister Bing Xing, Xiao Jingming hasn't been here for a while. She should be learning the Tao of inscription from Elder Linglong. Elder Linglong? From a name, it's a woman? Since when did our immortal weapon palace have such an elder? Bing Xing asked with a frown. Her name is Jian Linglong. She is a martial emperor of the Sword Immortal Pavilion, a Tao inscription master, and possesses the Tao Lord inscription spirit. I poached her from the Sword Immortal Pavilion. Qin Yun said with a smile. Is she that gentle, beautiful Tao inscription master? Bing Xing's voice suddenly turned cold, as if she is jealous. But she can't be considered gentle. Qin Yun felt that he has overturned a vinegar jar. I want to see her. Bing Xing said coldly. Qin Yun suddenly became worried and said, Sister Bing Xing, don't drive her away. She could be a good teacher for Xiao Jingming. Bing Xing said, she joined our immortal weapon city, so she is one of us. She has even become an elder and a Dao inscription master. With this kind of status, of course I want to see her. Soon after, Bing Xing sent a message to Bao Changshuo and Granny Ma. Whoever has the time will bring Jian Linglong over. Then should I stay here? Qin Yun asked. You stay here. Bing Xing said, I just want to see if she is someone I know, because the people who had entanglement with you in your past life seem to be very close to you now. Elder Linglong is rather old. She might be several thousand years old, or even close to 10,000 years old. Qin Yun said, just look and you'll know. Even if she hasn't awakened her memories, just by looking at her appearance, I can tell if she is someone I know or not. Bing Xing said. Not long after, Jian Linglong arrived. As soon as she arrived, she saw Bing Xing and sensed the formidable immortal power. At the same time, she is astonished and immediately saluted Bing Xing. Jian Linglong pays respect to Grand Elder. Jian Linglong also recalled that Qin Yun once said that this immortal is extremely beautiful. Now that she has seen it, it is indeed so. Linglong, welcome to our immortal weapon city. Jingming is born with an immortal body and also possesses totem inscription spirit. I hope you can properly nurture her. This is a communication conch for you. If you have anything you don't understand about cultivation, you can send me a message. If it's convenient, I will also guide you. Bing Xing said. Many thanks, Grand Elder. After Jian Linglong received the communication conch, she is secretly shocked. She never expected that Qi Meiyin would have totem inscription spirit. Chapter 718. Third Pearl. Jian Linglong also saw Qin Yun beside her, but she did not greet him, because she is rather nervous in front of Bing Xing. At this moment, she also has a feeling that the relationship between Bing Xing and Qin Yun is not simple. Previously, she knew that Qin Yun would be specially taken care of by this immortal. But now that she entered, relying on a woman's special intuition, she discovered that something is amiss. Qin Yun sent Jian Linglong out of the immortal weapon palace hall and did not say much. He only said that he would find her another day to discuss the Tao of inscription. Qin Yun closed the door and promptly walked to Bing Xing's side. He asked curiously, Sister Bing Xing, does this elder Linglong have a past life? No, Bing Xing said. In the future, when you have time, bring all the women you know. I want to praise them one by one to see if they all have past lives. There's no need to appraise them, because most of them have met Yuelon and Big Sister Yang. If they have past lives, Yuelon would definitely know about it. Qin Yun said, do you have a lot of women around you? Bing Xing stared at Qin Yun and asked coldly. They're all my good friends. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, to be honest, I also don't know why my luck with women is so good. I can't even stop them. You won't change even if you die. Bing Xing coldly snorted and said, in your previous life, you had many lovers in the immortal desolate. As for whether you did anything to them or not, I don't know. Qin Yun is slightly stunned, then said with an embarrassed smile, is this true? And then? Did the lovers come to blows? No, because I don't know what kind of bewitching soup you fed them. They're all obedient and obedient. Moreover, you often call them to do all kinds of things, just like your subordinates. When Bing Xing spoke of this matter, her expression gradually turned gloomy. I am one of them. Qin Yun doesn't know what to say because he indeed has these habits now. For example, he really wants to find Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingsheng to be his assistants. He feels that letting those delicate beauties help him with his work is also a very interesting thing. If the women you knew in your previous life reincarnated, even if they did not awaken their memories, they would still continue to have entanglement with you in this life. So, in the future, bring all the women you know here. Although Yuelon and the others have seen him before, they might not know him. In your previous life, I know better than Yuelon and the others how many women there were around you. Bing Xing warned Qin Yun sternly. Qin Yun nodded and said, I will go out for a while I want to gather with my friends. All right, if you have time, come over and cultivate with me. Bing Xing said. Qin Yun left the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall in a hurry. On the way, he was very puzzled. He said to Ling Yin, why is Bing Xing acting strange? She actually wants to see all the women I know. There are two reasons. One is that she really wants to see if those women are reincarnated. Second, she wants to control these women you know, and then become the master of your harem in the future. Ling Yun chuckled and said, Bing Xing is determined to pester you. That's impossible. She's a high and mighty fairy. How could she accept this kind of thing? I already have Yuel on as my wife. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, But you were an immortal king in your previous life. An immortal king is the strongest immortal under the immortal emperor. In your previous life, she might have been weaker than you. She just said that in your previous life, your immortal king often sent some beautiful fairies to do things. If you didn't have some skill, how could you do it? Ling Yun said with a smile, You have cultivated the immortal devil body. In this life, you will only be stronger than in your previous life. Qin Yun suddenly felt a bit more comfortable. He was worried that Bing Xing would deal with his female friends. Now, Qin Yun's mind has transformed into a moon. He also discovered that the mental origin power he released has become stronger. This will allow him to have a stronger power when controlling objects to attack. The main reason is that the primordial spirit jade that Huizhong gave him has played a role. And now, what he is most looking forward to is not to feel the power of the immortal devil body, but to open the third pearl of the nine-sun divine spirit. When he hurried back, the immortal graveyard diagram in his storage space moved, forcing him to fly back. Although Qin Yun is still living in the outer sect, everyone knows that he has contributed greatly to the Immortal Weapon City. Even if he flies randomly, no one will say anything about it. After he returned to his room, he quickly took out the immortal graveyard diagram. Elder Sister Imperial Preceptor, I have cultivated the immortal devil body, Qin Yun said with a happy smile. That's great. Siakiru heaved a sigh of relief. It can be seen that she is also very worried that something would happen to Qin Yun. Elder Sister Imperial Preceptor, I told Sister Bing Xing about your matter. She is very concerned about you. Fortunately, I didn't tell her too much. Otherwise, she might have thought of every possible way to go to that immortal tomb. Qin Yun said, She and Yuji, your big sister Yang, were both saved by me. We can be considered friends in times of adversity. Siakaru sighed softly. I really want to talk to her, but the current conditions don't allow it. There will definitely be a chance in the future. Qin Yun said with a smile. Xiao Yun, is the process of cultivating the immortal devil body very painful? You can endure it. The benefit is not only that you possess the immortal devil body. The most important thing is that it will make it difficult for you to fall into the devil Dao. Siakiru said. Qin Yun recalled the process from before. Although he felt fear in his heart, if he were to encounter such a thing again in the future, he would definitely not collapse so easily. I didn't even know what happened to me when I was young. Qin Yun thought of his mother and felt very sad. I was the one who caused Mother's death. The one who caused her death should be me. If she hadn't obtained the immortal graveyard diagram, so many things wouldn't have happened. Fortunately, their souls are still here, so they can be resurrected. Siakiru sighed. Let's not talk about this anymore. Qin Yun does not want to talk about this heavy topic. He asked, Elder Sister Imperial Preceptor, do I need to continue cultivating the immortal devil sacred body art in the future? Of course. Otherwise, how will you cultivate a sacred body in the future? There are many stages to cultivating an immortal body, Siakiru said with a smile. Let Bing Xing teach you. Sister Bing Xing, she's so cold, and she treats me so strangely. Qin Yun can't say what's wrong with Bing Xing. Xiao Yun, when you were cultivating the immortal devil body, Bing Xing should have been watching from the side. She must have helped you pass through the difficulties. Otherwise, it would have been difficult for you to succeed. Siakiru said with a chuckle. What happened to all of you? Quickly tell me. Siekaru suddenly became very interested and urged Qingyun to tell her what happened. Qingyun was bashful and finally told Siekaru the entire process. Furthermore, he worriedly warned, "Elder Sister Imperial Preceptor, you must not mention this to Sister Bingxing in the future. She will kill me." While Siekaru was listening, she would chuckle from time to time. She seemed to be very happy listening. "Xiao Yun, Bingxing is only taking revenge. You don't know this, but you were very indifferent to her in your previous life. You always used her to do things. You might not believe it, but she was as simple as little Mei Yin in the past. Now that she has found an opportunity, of course she wants to make up for it. She complained to me before that you didn't pamper her and didn't get close to her. It made her very sad." Siekaru's words have greatly impacted Qingyun. He found it hard to believe that Bingxing was as simple as Qi Malian in the past. "Let's not talk about this anymore. It's also very good that she can accept you now," Siekaru said with a smile. "Elder Sister Imperial Preceptor, so your original name is Xian Kiru. Are you very famous in the Immortal Desolate?" Qingyun asked. "You could just call me Sister Kiru from now on. I am indeed very famous in the Immortal Desolate, and it's a bad reputation. You told me before that you caused a lot of trouble in the Spirit Desolate and Martial Desolate, and I'm the same in the Immortal Desolate. I'm being chased everywhere, and the good things on my body are always being coveted by others," Siekaru said. Qingyun feels that many things will definitely happen in the Immortal Desolate in the future. "Great. Sister Kiru, you told me to join an immortal sect and said that you wanted me to cultivate an immortal body. Now that I have cultivated a mortal devil body, what's next?" Qingyun asked. "You completed it earlier than I expected. I really didn't expect it. Furthermore, you even obtained 2 immortal origins." Siekaru felt that it is unbelievable just thinking about it. "Oh, that's right, Sister Kiru. I also obtained 2 sun souls. One of them is a hammer, and the other is a duckling." Qingyun also forgot to tell Siekaru about this matter. After Siekaru heard this, she is immediately stunned because this is truly unexpected to her. One must know that even in Sacred Desolate or Divine Desolate, sun souls are things that can make the top experts fight over madly. And Qingyun is grasped too. Try your best not to let this matter leak out. If the 9 Sun sects find out, it will be troublesome, Siekaru said. Wait until you step into the Xian martial realm. I'll arrange for you to do other things. Qingyun promptly nodded and said, "Don't blame Bingxing too much. She doesn't have any malice towards you, and you're also not at a disadvantage, right?" Siekaru laughed. "Xiao Yun, you've gotten a bargain, and yet you're still pretending to be innocent." Qingyun curled his lips and asked, "Sister Karu, why did you find me and place all your hopes on me?" Sister Bingxing also wants to know about this matter. "Because you're outstanding. Don't ask too much. Hurry up and do your thing." After Siekaru finished speaking, she did not say another word. "Xiao Yun, in your previous life, you and Sister Kira must have had an affair," Ling Yun said with a charming smile. "Don't talk nonsense. Qingyun doesn't believe such a thing." Qingyun stored the immortal graveyard diagram and looked at the yang inside, the first pearl of the 9 Sun divine spirit. It is wrapped up by a large group of people, and he doesn't know when it will come out. Mo and Little Jade Rabbit are still laughing and playing around all day. Now that there are 2 immortal origins inside, she can also absorb the immortal energy and doesn't need to be afraid of starving. And now, Qingyun can finally open the 3rd pearl of the 9 Sun divine spirit. After his mind transformed into moon, his mental origin power became many times stronger than before. In an instant, Qingyun broke through the obstruction of the 3rd pearl of the 9 Sun divine spirit. Suddenly, an ice-cold female voice entered Qingyun's mind. "You're not Xiaoro? Who are you?" Qingyun is dumbfounded. There is actually a person inside the 3rd pearl. Furthermore, she is very fierce. Chapter 719. Soul Curse. Qingyun and Ling Yun are both frightened because this 9 Sun divine spirit is a very ancient thing. If there is someone inside, It is definitely not an ordinary person. Who are you? Why are you inside? Qin Yun promptly asked. He can't see the situation inside the third pearl. He can only sense that there is something inside. The person inside is a woman. Her voice is hoarse and cold, filled with vigilance. Tell me first, who are you? If you're not Xiao Rou, I guarantee that not only will you not be able to obtain the third pearl, even the nine-sun divine spirit will leave you. The woman said. Qin Yun immediately cursed this woman in his heart. The nine-sun divine spirit is his life. My name is Qin Yun. Is the Xiao Rou you're talking about Xieqiru? Qin Yun asked. Xieqiru? Not that name. It's Xianqiru. The woman is somewhat angry. It seems like you snatched this nine-sun divine spirit from Xiao Rou. Then you can say goodbye to this nine-sun divine spirit. Big sister, wait a minute. If you want to take away the nine-sun divine spirit, wait until I clear everything. Qin Yun promptly shouted. He is extremely speechless in his heart and somewhat regretted opening the third pearl. What good things can you have? Aren't they all trash? The woman sneered. Apparently, she can see everything inside the nine-sun divine spirit. Not long after, the woman shouted again, Who the hell are you? There are actually two immortal origins inside the first pearl, and there is also the ninth heaven Xian Sparrow. That is a sun spirit. I am Qin Yun, you just don't know me. The Xianqiru you are talking about is Xieqiru. She has reincarnated, so she changed her name. She is my grand preceptor. Qin Yun is also going crazy because the woman inside is not easy to communicate with. All right, then tell me, how did you obtain the nine-sun divine spirit? The woman calmed down a bit. Although Qin Yun doesn't know who the woman is, he still told her some things, including the matter of the immortal graveyard diagram and how he was guided to cultivate immortal devil body. If you truly cultivate immortal devil body, I will believe you, the woman inside said. How can I prove it? Qin Yun must make this woman believe him. Otherwise, not only will he lose the nine-sun divine spirit, he will also lose the things inside. I could have left, but you are in the spirit desolate. Once I leave, I will be sucked into the immortal desolate. I can't enter the immortal desolate yet. The woman said, This is the immortal weapon palace. There is a special enchantment protecting it. It can't be sensed by the immortal desolate. By the way, do you know Bing Xing? She is also here. Qin Yun suddenly said. Bing Xing is here too? The woman was somewhat shocked. Oh, do you want to see her? Qin Yun was secretly pleasantly surprised. If it was someone he knew, it would be easy. I won't see you. You mustn't tell her. Also, set up the barrier. If I go out, I might be sensed by Bing Xing. If she discovers me, you and the nine-sun divine spirit will be finished. The woman said. Qin Yun hurriedly set up a barrier. His room was a secret room to begin with. After setting up a spear formation, it became even more secure. Big sister, I am done. You can come out now. Qin Yun said. He does not know which immortal he has offended. He always meets this kind of strange woman. The nine-sun divine spirit suddenly appeared from Qin Yun's wrist. The third pearl overflowed with black gas. So, a long-haired woman wearing black clothes stood in front of Qin Yun. This woman is very strong, and she is relatively short. She is the kind of petite and exquisite woman. Qin Yun looked at her face and is secretly alarmed. The woman's face is filled with black scars, as if she has been burned. It looks extremely terrifying. Because this woman's face has been ravaged, she looks ugly and frightening. However, her eyes are extremely beautiful. When she saw Qin Yun, she said angrily, Bastard, it's actually you. Fuck, I knew it. That bastard of mine caused trouble again in his previous life. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. This woman thinks of him as his previous life. Big sister, don't be angry. The one you know is my previous life. Qin Yun hurriedly said, I don't know anything about my previous life, so I'm not him. What's going on with Xiao Rou? She actually gave such a precious nine-sun divine spirit to a scoundrel like you. The woman extended her hand and placed it on Qin Yun's body. Very quickly, she sensed the power of his immortal devil body. You have indeed cultivated immortal devil body. A guy like you is not worthy of having a mortal devil body. The woman seems to hate Qin Yun very much. However, because of Qin Yun and Siekaru's relationship, she did not attack. Big sister, that is my previous life. Don't think of me as him. Qin Yun said very unhappily. A dog can't stop eating shit. As long as you have that stinky face, you will always be him. The woman said with sneer. Then what about now? Can I take the things inside the third pearl? Qin Yun asked. This is something he is very concerned about. You can't. The black-clothed woman extended her hand again and grabbed Qin Yun's wrist. She looked at the string of 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Qin Yun also saw that the black-clothed woman's hand is also filled with pitch-black burn scars. It looks very scary. Big sister, your cultivation is very strong. The injuries on your body should be able to be healed, right? Qin Yun somewhat sympathized with the black-clothed woman. It can't be healed. I will forever be like this. Even if I reincarnate, my body will be tainted because of my soul. The black-clothed woman's voice is filled with despair and anger. She fiercely said, "This is all caused by you." Qin Yun is stunned. He looked at the woman's severely burned face and felt a great impact in his heart. A feeling of unbearable and guilt welled up in his heart. So, sorry. Qin Yun can only say this. All right, I won't take the 9 Sun Divine Spirit for now. Wait and see what happens next. I will give you the things inside the third pearl. Otherwise, I will even seal the first and second pearl. The black-clothed woman also saw the guilt in Qin Yun's eyes. Then she entered Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Big sister, what's your name? Qin Yun asked. You could just call me Sister Cho, the woman said. This name is not nice to hear. Qin Yun doesn't dare to call her that. What? Don't tell me you want to call me Beauty. Isn't that mocking me? After the black-clothed woman finished speaking, she lightly sighed and said, Just call me Yao Fong. Qin Yun wants to ask Bing Xing whether or not she has heard of this woman. He wants to figure out who she is. Sister Yao Fong, how long have you been inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit? Qin Yun is secretly disappointed in his heart. He originally thought that he would be able to obtain some good things, but now it has been seized by a woman. I don't remember. After I became like this, I didn't want to live anymore. Later I hid inside and have been in deep sleep. Only now did I wake up, Yao Fong said. Soon after, she asked Qin Yun some things regarding the outside world. Whatever she asked, Qin Yun answered. What made Qin Yun feel relieved is that Yao Fong inside, the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, does not know what is happening outside. Sister Yao Fong, what is inside the third pearl? Qin Yun is very curious. Even if he can't obtain it, knowing what is inside is already very good. I won't tell you. The third pearl is under my control. Don't put anything inside, otherwise I guarantee that all those things will disappear. Yao Fong said. Sister Yao Fong, just tell me. Qin Yun begged. Don't even think about knowing. Yao Fong cursed in low voice. I don't trust you. I can't hand over such a precious thing to you. Just give up. I'm going to sleep. Qin Yun cursed in his heart, but he can only give up. Yuner said from the illusory space. Xiao Yun, the things inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit must have been placed inside by Sister Kiru's mother. Even Sister Yao Fong was placed inside by her. That Yao Fong is very strong. It seems like she is above Bing Xing. Next, Qin Yun bitterly begged Yao Fong to tell him what is inside the third pearl. Yao Fong has not spoken since the beginning. Then she became annoyed and loudly cursed. If you don't shut up, the 9 Sun Divine Spirit will not be yours. Qin Yun has no choice but to give up. He promptly took out the immortal graveyard diagram and dripped blood on it. He wanted to ask Siekaru, but the immortal graveyard diagram did not react. What the hell? It's all because of my wretched past life. Qin Yun sat on the bed and loudly cursed his past life. Xiao Yun, your past life is already dead. Ling Yuner charmingly smiled and said, Let it go. I'm incomparably looking forward to seeing what is inside the third pearl, but this is the result. I can't let it go. Qin Yun tossed and turned on the bed. He has the urge to cry, because now he can't even open the fourth pearl. Moreover, He is constantly being threatened by that Yao Fong. Maybe there is a way. Ling Yuner suddenly said, Yao Fong's soul is cursed. It caused her to become like this. We just need to find a way to remove the curse. She's a very powerful immortal. How can I help her with something that even she can't do? Qin Yun continued to toss and turn on the bed and loudly shouted, venting the unhappiness in his heart. Ling Yuner also has no other way. She can only comfort Qin Yun. After Qin Yun shouted and screamed inside the room for a while, he became a lot more open-minded and walked out of the room. Because he still has a very important thing to do, that is to go to the remote Moon Mountain range to find Yang Shuriyue. After he walked out of the room, he saw Chu Binyu in the hall, greeting two women. Jin Meng is also here. The two women are wearing red dresses and black clothes, respectively. The red-dressed woman is extremely charming and charming. After seeing Qin Yun, her watery eyes flickered with joy. This is Yu Wulan. She has also stepped into the spirit martial realm. The black-dressed woman has dark skin, wheat-colored and healthy skin, making her look somewhat heroic. A smile appeared on her slightly dark and healthy face. This is the valiant black beauty Tian Ruling. Big sister, second sister. Qin Yun is also very happy to see them, and quickly said with a smile, Little brother, although we haven't seen each other for a long time, I can always hear about you. Chapter 720. Blue Moon appointment. Chu Binyu and Jin Meng also left the hall. Qin Yun grabbed Yu Wulan's lily-white hand and said with a smile, Second sister, how are you doing in Demon Moon Island? Tian Ruling said, Very well. You don't have to worry about us. Little brother, I came here to tell you a piece of news. Yang Shuryu is still in the remote Moon Mountain range. Someone saw her appear and even injured her, Yu Wulan said. After Qin Yun heard this, he immediately became anxious and asked, What about now? How is she? I don't know. After she was injured, she ran away. Tian Ruling shook her head. Yu Wulan told us to tell you not to worry about this. In another month, it will be the night of the blue moon. The moon will turn blue, and at that time, Yang Shuryu's injuries will be healed. Yu Wulan said. Qin Yun has already decided to head to the remote Moon Mountain range immediately. Big sister, second sister, I want to bring you to see someone. Qin Yun recalled what Bing Xing warned him about, and then brought Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling to the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall, because he also wants to know if Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling had a past life. Not long after, he brought the two women to the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall and saw Bing Xing. Qin Yun also told Bing Xing about how he met Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan. When Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling arrived, they immediately felt that Bing Xing is very strong. They also realized that she is an immortal hidden in the Immortal Weapon Palace and became very respectful. Qin Yun, they have encountered some problems in their cultivation. I need to help them deal with it. It might take a few days. Bing Xing said. All right. Qin Yun nodded. I want to enter the immortal origin with them. Don't come in and disturb us. Bing Xing said again. Soon after, Qin Yun also asked Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling to take out their sabers. Those two sabers were refined by Qin Yun back then, but they were only royal-grade spirit weapons. Now, Qin Yun wants to upgrade them to Xian tools. After Bing Xing brought the two women into the immortal pool, Qin Yun immediately began to strengthen the two sabers. Yuner, what is Sister Bing Xing doing? Qin Yun asked. I feel that she is acting mysteriously. I don't know. In short, this fairy will not harm you. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun quickly refined the two sabers into Xian tools and even carved totem runes on them. The current him was much faster in terms of weapon forging, especially when it came to carving totems. His precision was much higher. In just 2 days, Bing Xing brought Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan up from the immortal pool. After coming up, Qin Yun stared at Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling's eyes, hoping to see something from them. Yu Wulan and Tian Ruling came up and hugged Qin Yun. Then, they bade farewell and left. She had come with Hu Jingxian, and now she was going back. Qin Yun sent them out of the forbidden area of the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall, and then hurriedly ran back. Sister Bing Xing, do they have past lives? Qin Yun asked. No, they're all good girls. Bing Xing looked at Qin Yun and said, I only corrected their cultivation mistakes. Furthermore, I used the Sun-Moon Immortal Bed to help them improve their martial arts. Thank you so much. They're my big sister and second sister. Qin Yun quickly said gratefully. What? Are you worried that I will harm them? Bing Xing coldly snorted. Not really. Qin Yun smiled. Then, anxiety appeared on his face again. Sister Bing Xing, I'm going to the remote Moon Mountain range because Sister Yang has been found and injured. If you go now, you won't be able to find her. When the blue moon appears, you can use your mind to transform into a moon and establish a connection with the moon. Then, you'll be able to sense her nether moon martial spirit. Bing Xing said, during this period of time, you should familiarize yourself with your martial skills and the power of the middle stage spirit martial realm. Qin Yun is very anxious. However, thinking that it is useless for him to go in advance, he can only obediently cultivate with Bing Xing. Then, he would enter the fantasy field and fight Bing Xing inside. After a few days of combat practice, Qin Yun gradually became familiar with the power of the middle stage spirit martial realm. At the middle stage of the spirit martial realm, not only did he cultivate the primordial spirit, but his Tao spirit was also strengthened a lot. Cultivating the bone spirit was the initial stage of the spirit martial realm. The bone spirit could store energy inside the bones. Cultivating the origin spirit was the middle stage of the spirit martial realm. The origin spirit could make one's mental power stronger. Next, he needed to cultivate the blood spirit. It is something that can make one's body stronger. If an immortal disciple or devil disciple has perseverance, they can stagnate at this stage for many years and cultivate devil blood and immortal blood. Qin Yun has already cultivated a mortal devil body, and he also has powerful immortal devil blood. Therefore, he can be considered to be at the late stage spirit martial realm. Sister Bing Xing, am I now considered to be at the late stage spirit martial realm? Qin Yun asked. Yes, because next you will attack the peak of the spirit martial realm. That is to cultivate Xian spirit, Tao, crystal, and condense it inside the Tao core. As long as you successfully cultivate Xian spirit, Tao crystal, you will be at the peak of the spirit martial realm. Bing Xing said, what's the use of Xian spirit, Tao crystal? Qin Yun thought about it and felt that it is not difficult. It's very useful. It can directly transform spiritual energy into Xian power. Xian power can turn your Tao core into a Xian Tao core. It can strengthen your martial spirit and other aspects. After you condense a Xian Tao core, you will be a Xian martial realm martial monarch. At that time, you will be able to use Tao, Xian power. After Bing Xing finished speaking, she left the fantasy field. Qin Yun promptly woke up from his room and rushed towards the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. These past few days, he has been in contact with Yao Fong. However, Yao Fong seems to be truly asleep and did not reply to him at all. Qin Yun originally did not want to find Bing Xing to ask about this matter. He was worried that Yao Fong would mind. However, in order to figure out Yao Fong's origin, he can only go find Bing Xing. When Qin Yun headed to the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall, he tried dripping blood on the Immortal Graveyard diagram. However, he is still unable to contact Siekaru. Qin Yun can only helplessly head to the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. Inside the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall, Bing Xing is dressed very lightly. She is hugging a white muslin on her chest, wearing shorts and a translucent robe. This ice-cold fairy, dressed like this, is actually filled with an indescribable charm. When she saw Qin Yun arrive, she hastily took out a white robe and put it on. Sister Bing Xing, have you heard of a woman called Yao Fong? Qin Yun asked. Never heard of her. Bing Xing thought for a moment, then shook her head and said, who is she? It's just a name. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. He thought that Bing Xing knew about it. Do you know a woman? Bing Xing asked, clearly very concerned. I know her. She was cursed, causing the skin on her entire body to turn black. Moreover, it is filled with burned scars. She even said that even if she reincarnated, she would still not be able to get rid of this curse. Qin Yun said very sympathetically. He also feels very guilty in his heart, because this curse was created by his past life. Bing Xing slightly frowned and walked back and forth, as if she is recalling something. I have only seen this kind of curse in books. It is something that only the Devil Immortal Great Emperor of the Devil Immortal Domain knows about. If this Yao Fong is afflicted with this curse, she would be an extraordinary person, because to use this curse, the Devil Immortal Great Emperor would have to pay a painful price. Because of this, he would have to sleep for tens of thousands of years. Bing Xing said. Qin Yun knew that this curse is very strong. Is there no way to undo it? Qin Yun asked. Yes, if the Devil Immortal Great Emperor died, the curse would be undone. But this is impossible. Even the Immortal Emperor of the Immortal Desolate cannot kill the Devil Immortal Great Emperor. The two of them are one of the strongest in the Immortal Desolate. It is very difficult for them to die. Bing Xing said. Where did you meet this person? Is she an immortal? I dreamed of her. Qin Yun can only weave a lie. Siekaru and Yao Fong warned him repeatedly not to tell Bing Xing about the nine-sun divine spirit. If you want to help her, you can only kill the Devil Immortal Great Emperor. This is impossible, Bing Xing said. Qin Yun is even more doubtful in his heart. Bing Xing actually does not recognize Yao Fong. However, Yao Fong has heard of Bing Xing and looks very familiar. Come, cultivate together with me, Bing Xing said. She released immortal power and grabbed Qin Yun into the immortal pool. Qin Yun has already cultivated immortal devil body, so he is only helping Bing Xing. Bing Xing learned the immortal fiend sacred body art and also knew how to cultivate the 9 revolutions immortal power. However, in order to speed up, she would grab Qin Yun to cultivate with her from time to time. After Bing Xing and Qin Yun cultivated for a few days, she said, Qin Yun, it's time for you to head to the remote Moon Mountain range. In about 10 days, the blue moon will appear. Qin Yun put aside his suspicions about Yao Fong and returned to make preparations. He has the Devil Star Overlord, whose strength is comparable to a martial king. Therefore, Bing Xing is more at ease with him going. Qin Yun went to the Lawkeeper Hall and met with Jian Linglong and Lu Jingming. After chatting for a while, he returned to his room. As soon as Qin Yun returned, he immediately took out the immortal graveyard diagram and dripped blood on it. He wanted to contact Siekaru, but he could not. He lay on the bed and controlled the 9-sun divine soul to appear. He said, Sister Yao Fong, are you really asleep? I want to talk to you. Yao Fong, who is in the 3rd pearl of the 9-sun divine soul, also did not respond. Qin Yun kept sending sound transmission to Yao Fong, but did not receive any response. After half a day, the immortal graveyard diagram suddenly reacted. Qin Yun abruptly crawled up, took out the immortal graveyard diagram, and placed it on the table. Sister Karu, have you been in a bad state these past few days? Qin Yun asked. I've been in seclusion for the past few days. What's the matter? Siekaru said with smile. Xiao Yun, with Bing Xing by your side. If there's anything, you can go find her. Sister Bing Xing, I opened the 3rd pearl of the 9-sun divine soul. There's a person inside. Qin Yun told Siekaru the details of Yao Fong's situation. Hearing this, Siekaru is very astonished. Apparently, she did not know that there was such a person inside the 3rd pearl. I don't know who she is. I've never heard of the name Yao Fong. Siekaru pondered for a moment and said, Sister Kiru, you also don't know who she is? Qin Yun is stupefied. He thought that Siekaru would know. Soon after, Siekaru also told him about the curse. It is the same as what Bing Xing said before. Sister Karu, there shouldn't be many people who call you Xiaoro, right? Qin Yun asked. Think back. Who would call you that? Chapter 721. Heading to remote Moon Mountain range, Qin Yun felt even more sad. He originally thought that he would be able to understand Yao Fong's situation from Bing Xing and Siekaru and then think of a way to resolve the conflict between them. But now, Bing Xing and Siekaru don't even know Yao Fong. However, Qin Yun is very certain that Yao Fong is very familiar with Siekaru and Bing Xing, Sister Karu. Did you and Sister Bingxing have a portion of your memories taken away, causing you to forget about Yao Fong? Qin Yun asked again. Little Malian has this kind of ability. Siakiru thought for a moment and said, Impossible. I can feel that my memories are very complete. If a portion of my memories were taken away, I would definitely be able to discover it. Qin Yun also recalled Xia Wufeng and the others. He also discovered that his memories have suddenly disappeared. Then who is this Yao Fong? What should I do if she stays inside the Nine Sun Divine Spirit's third pearl? When Qin Yun thought of this matter, he became anxious and angry. He felt extremely depressed. Xiao Yun, if you have the opportunity, try to communicate with her and resolve the conflict between the two of you. Siekaru comforted. The conflict between you and Bingxing is gradually being resolved. Maybe you can also resolve it with this Yao Fong. The reason why Sister Bingxing and I can resolve the conflict is because we had some entanglements in our past lives. Moreover, she still has some residual feelings for me. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, And that Yao Fong hates me to the bone. Qin Yun recalled Yao Fong's attitude towards him and felt a sense of despair. Siekaru said with light smile, Xiao Yun, be a bit patient. After all, Yao Fong has fallen into that kind of situation. Moreover, she has been inside the Nine Sun Divine Spirit's third pearl for so many years, her heart must have been distorted. But she still remembers me and gave me face. She did not take away the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. In other words, there is still a chance to convince her to give you the Nine Sun Divine Spirit's third pearl. Sister Kiru, among the women you know, are there any petite ones? Qin Yun asked. Of course, there are many. Xiao Yun, I grew up in the Immortal Palace. Many women call me Xiao Rou. Siakiru sighed and said, Maybe Yao Fong is not her real name. Also, her voice is very hoarse. Qin Yun said, The women in my memory all have very pleasant voices. None of them have hoarse voices. Siekaru said, Xiao Yun, she was cursed and her throat must have been affected. This voice shouldn't be hers. If you can communicate with her, ask her more questions, or get her to tell me her real name, I will know who she is. Qin Yun could only put this matter aside for now, because he still had to find Yang Shiryu. He felt that Yang Shiryu might know that Yao Fong. Sister Kiru, do you really think there's no way to get rid of that soul curse? Qin Yun believes that as long as he helps Yao Fong dispel the soul curse, not only will he be able to resolve the conflict between them, he might even be able to make her help Siekaru and Bingxing. Only the Devil Immortal Great Emperor can remove the curse. I also can't think of who could make the Devil Immortal Great Emperor do not hesitate to use this curse. Devil Immortal Great Emperor must have hated Yao Fong very much. That's why he put that curse. Siekaru said. She said that it was caused by my previous life. I was so powerful in my previous life that I could make the Devil Immortal Great Emperor attack her. Qin Yun asked again, How is that possible? Even though you were an immortal king in your previous life, the Devil Immortal Great Emperor could kill you with one finger. Siekaru smiled and said, Xiao Yun, don't think about it. Let nature take its course. Qin Yun only knows that Yao Fong is very strong and has the ability to make the terrifying Devil Immortal Great Emperor hate her to the bone. He ended his conversation with Siekaru and went to the Lawkeeper Hall to find Granny Ma. He informed her that he was going to the remote Moon Mountain range. Granny Ma knows that Qin Yun has a Devil Star Overlord puppet, so she let him go with ease. She only warned him to be careful and not get caught. Qin Yun also learned from Granny Ma that there are many martial kings and martial emperors in the remote Moon Mountain range. They all came from the Spirit Desolate States. Big Sister Yang must be having a hard time hiding in the remote Moon Mountain range. I have to bring her out quickly. Qin Yun doesn't know the situation in the remote Moon Mountain range. He can only go and take a look first. He dressed up simply and wore a set of black clothes. When night fell, he left the Immortal Weapon Palace alone. As night fell, Qin Yun walked out of the main entrance of the Immortal Weapon Palace. He immediately discovered the auras of over 100 martial monarchs and martial kings that were deliberately concealed. Seeing someone come out, The martial monarchs and martial kings hiding in the shadows immediately looked over. They discovered that it is a middle-aged man and did not continue to pay attention to him. Qin found it funny. Every major power has sent spies here. Perhaps it is to pay attention to his whereabouts. They are now disguised as all kinds of people. Qin also passed by a few martial kings and was not discovered. Then, he easily left the city. After he left the city, he hid in the air and flew towards the remote Moon Mountain Range. The remote Moon Mountain Range is quite far from here, but if one is fast, they can reach it in a few days. The border between the Spirit Desolate and Devil Desolate is very long. The remote Moon Mountain Range is on the border, and half of it is on the remote Moon Mountain Range. Qin did not use a flying magic tool, nor did he have a good flying magic tool. He could only fly in a night sky by himself. A few hours later, it is already late at night. Qin is flying above a desolate mountain when he suddenly sensed a weak aura behind him. It is very far away from him. Someone is following me. Qin is immediately alarmed. He quickly landed on the ground and used the mysterious penetration divine ability to drill into the ground. He left behind a spirit eye on the ground, allowing him to clearly see the ground through his mental power. Xiaoyun, after your mind transformed into moon, your mental power became very strong. However, you only just discovered that someone is following you. This guy is definitely not simple. Ling Yun said, the only person who knows that you left the Immortal Weapon Palace is Granny Ma. Maybe they didn't follow me from the Immortal Weapon Palace. Qin does not dare to believe that someone is following him, because first of all, they need to recognize him. Furthermore, they need to be able to quickly catch up and sense his aura. When he left the Immortal Weapon Palace, there were many martial kings at the entrance. They did not recognize him at a very close distance. Could be a half immortal? Qin said with a frown. He waited for a moment, and the spirit, I finally saw someone in the sky. He only saw a figure floating in the air. The half moon in the night sky. The moonlight is light blue and also very bright. If not for the thick clouds covering it from time to time, Qin would not have been able to use shadow power. At this time, after the thick clouds dispersed, if Qin came out, he would definitely be exposed. Who the hell is this guy? He didn't continue to track me, but stopped above. Did he find out that I am still here? Qin thought to himself. Boom! Just as he was feeling puzzled, the ground suddenly gave off a loud rumble. Is it a royal grade spirit talisman? It's even fire attribute. Naive guy. How could I be afraid of this kind of thing? Qin found it funny and continued to stay underground. The ground is burning with raging fire. Qin also discovered it, but he did not come out. Boom, boom, boom. Next, the person in the air constantly threw down talismans, causing the ground to sink. And Qin is like a mole, scurrying underground. What surprised him is that the person in the air can accurately control his position. Wherever he runs on the ground, an explosive talisman will fall from the top. Xiaoyun, this guy only forced you out. It can be seen that his cultivation is not high. Otherwise, he would have already taken action. Ling Yun said. Qin can't use the penetration divine ability for a long time. Running around underground like this consumes a lot of energy. All right, I'll go out and meet this bastard. Qin leaped out of the ground and flew into the air. He quickly approached and discovered that it is a black-clothed man wearing a hood. Not even his eyes can be seen. Scoundrel! Qin shouted loudly and punched through the air. He struck out with a ferocious shockwave that caused the ground to collapse. He thought that if he punched, the black-clothed man would fight with him. Who would have thought that the black-clothed man would slip away at the fastest speed? The direction the black-clothed man went is also towards the remote Moon Mountain Range. Qin immediately chased after him. Scoundrel, don't run! Qin shouted from behind. He punched out, but he was helpless against the black-clothed man. Xiaoyun, could that guy be deliberately luring you over? Ling Yun said, don't fall for it. Qin thought for a moment and did not continue to chase after that guy. Instead, he changed his direction and continued flying towards the remote Moon Mountain Range. What infuriated him is that the black-clothed man actually ran in front of him and deliberately maintained his speed. Qin Yun is infuriated and immediately changed his route. The black-clothed man quickly flew in front of him again. This bastard, he did it on purpose. Qin Yun felt a burst of anger in his heart. Then he used passing shadow extinction breath step and suddenly disappeared. However, the black-clothed man's speed is still very fast, and he knows that he is chasing after him. What the hell is this guy? How can he be so fast? Qin Yun is out of tricks. He can't hit him from behind, and he can't catch up to him. He thought for a moment, and then landed on the wasteland below. Qin Yun is no longer flying. Instead, he is running on the ground. As he expected, the black-clothed man also landed on the ground and started running in front of him. Bastard, you've been tricked. Qin Yun is secretly delighted. Then, he used the tree totem martial art and released tree claws. A few hundred meters in front of the black-clothed man, many tree vines suddenly emerged. The black-clothed man who was running wildly was caught off guard. He stepped into the group of tree claws and was immediately caught. Qin Yun also took advantage of this opportunity to use flowing light extinction shadow and used his fastest speed to rush over. In just a few blinks of an eye, he rushed over. The black-clothed man also has some skill and quickly broke free from the tree claws. However, just as he was about to fly away, he was covered by the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. Brother, I'm UMA. I was wrong. A delicate shout came from the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. This damn girl. Qin Yun is also at a loss whether to laugh or cry. He cursed in a low voice and then released Xiao Yuanmei from the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. After Xiao Yuanmei took off her veil, she revealed her cute and mischievous face. Qin Yun immediately extended his hands and rubbed her cute little face. Yuanmei, you're really too boring. Qin Yun rubbed and scolded with a smile. Brother, didn't you tell me to come find you? Xiao Yuanmei struggled free from Qin Yun's devil claws and said coquettishly. Chapter 722. Chaotic Moon City. Chaotic Moon City. I should have known it would be you, Qin Yun said with a smile. Only Xiao Yuanmei would be so bored and often play around. Brother, I'm doing this for your own good. This can test your ability, but it seems like you are still not good enough. You were so easily discovered by me and even followed by me. Your speed is also not as good as mine. Xiao Yuanmei stuck out her tongue and said with a charming smile. Qin Yun pinched her cheek and scolded with a smile. Yuanmei, you can follow me. Isn't it because of your mirror martial spirit? Otherwise, I would have thrown you off long ago. Xiao Yuanmei's mirror martial spirit can sense the movement of martial spirits. Qin Yun has so many martial spirits. It is very easy for Xiao Yuanmei to discover him. As Xiao Yuanmei's strength increased, she can sense martial spirits even further away. That is why she can follow Qin Yun. Brother, why are you in such a hurry to find me? As soon as I heard the news, I immediately rushed over. Moreover, I have been waiting for you outside the Immortal Weapon Palace. Xiao Yuanmei said, You were waiting for me outside? Are you not going in? Qin Yun said with a frown. You gave the villain master pointers before. He should have invited you in. I don't want others to know about my relationship with you. You're in a very dangerous situation right now. If others knew, they would definitely capture me to threaten you. Xiao Yuanmei suddenly said in a low voice. Actually, I am afraid to see Sister Bingxing because I feel guilty toward her. Qin Yun sighed softly, stroked her head, and said with a smile, Yuanmei, I have a new divine ability, martial spirit. After Xiao Yuanmei heard this, she immediately took out her small mirror and looked at Qin Yun's abdomen. Qin Yun also promptly released the suffering divine ability martial spirit and the water divine ability martial spirit. Very quickly, Xiao Yuanmei's small mirror sensed two new divine ability martial spirits. She jumped up and down in pleasant surprise and shouted excitedly, Brother, you are too awesome. You actually obtained the suffering divine ability martial spirit. Huh? I thought you only obtained the water divine ability martial spirit. When Qin Yun saw Xiao Yuemei happily smiling, he pinched her cheek and said with a smile, Yuemei, do you still remember when I used your mirror martial spirit to condense the red orchid martial spirit? Of course I remember. Xiao Yuemei nodded repeatedly and asked mysteriously, Brother, you want to use my mirror martial spirit to condense an inscription spirit, right? Smart, Qin Yun said with a smile. All right. However, it is rather difficult because inscription spirit requires a lot of soul power. It might consume a large amount of your martial spirit. Xiao Yumei also understands these spirits very well. Don't worry, I've collected quite a few good martial spirits, Qin Yun said with a chuckle. In the Sword Immortal Villa's plaza, he gathered a large number of good martial spirits and sealed them in the Nether Sun martial spirit. Brother, are you going to find Sister Yang? I will also go. Xiao Yuemei pulled Qin Yun's hand, jumped, and shouted, She is afraid that Qin Yun will not take her. Since you can run so fast, I will take you with me, Qin Yun said with a smile. Very good, truly my good big brother. Xiao Yuemei stood on tiptoe and kissed Qin Yun's cheek. Qin Yun also kissed her cheek, then pinched her cute and tender face and scolded with a smile. Yuemei, you let little Mei sneak into the Long family. This is very dangerous. Little Mei is not suitable to deal with that kind of thing. Next time you're not allowed to bring her everywhere. I know. I even specially went to Demon Moon Island to find little Mei and apologize to her. She also forgave me. She and I are good sisters. I don't want anything to happen to her. I originally planned to let her replace me for a while, but then I ran into some matters, so I couldn't come back in time. When Xiao Yuemei mentioned this matter, she also felt very guilty. Qin Yun gently caressed her face and said, little Mei probably doesn't like to fight. Xiao Yuemei smiled tenderly and said, regardless of past life or present life, little Mei is still as pure and cute as before. She is also my good little sister. That's right. Yuemei, have you heard of a person called Yao Fong in your past life? Qin Yun said and then started flying. Xiao Yuemei followed beside Qin Yun and pondered with a frown. Then she shook her head. I've never heard of her. What's wrong? It's nothing. It's just a woman who appeared in my dream. She was cursed and even said that it was caused by me. Qin Yun told Xiao Yuemei about the situation after Yao Fong was cursed. After Xiao Yuemei heard this, she is also very astonished. A person who could be cursed by the devil immortal great emperor is definitely not an ordinary person. She must be very strong. Although you were a yearning person in your past life, and your strength in the immortal desolate was pretty good compared to the devil immortal great emperor, you are still too far off. I feel that you definitely wouldn't do such a thing. Maybe it was just a nightmare. You and Sister Bingxing have been together for a long time, so you often feel guilty in your heart. That's why this kind of nightmare appeared. Don't think too much about it. Speaking of Bingxing, Qin Yun faintly smiled. I got along well with Bingxing. I cultivated the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra with her. Xiao Yuemei is somewhat unconvinced and said, Brother, if what you said is true, then it means that she still has you in her heart. Qin Yun has been taken advantage of by Bingxing. He did not tell Xiao Yuemei about this matter because he is worried that she would spread it everywhere. Yuemei, among the women I know, who else has a past life? Qin Yun asked. An aunt, Xiao Yuemei said. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. He never expected that Xiao Xianqin would also have a past life. What is her relationship with me? Qin Yun asked curiously. The relationship is rather complicated. You are her enemy. She is chasing you everywhere to kill you, because you cheated her of a very good immortal tool. Also, she is a famous, beautiful immortal in the immortal desolate. You even stole her underwear at auction and earned a lot of money, Xiao Yuemei said with a charming smile. Qin Yun imagined the scene and realized why Xiao Xianqin's past life wanted to kill him. Brother, you weren't some great evil person in your past life. You were just bad and liked to do many sneaky things. You were a big swindler. Xiao Yuemei giggled and said, I followed you for a long time in my past life, so From Xiao Yueme. Qin Yun seems to be able to see the shadow of his past life. This Xiao Yueme often swindled people everywhere. Yueme, you suddenly let little Malian take over. What important matter is it? Qin Yun asked. I heard that there's a genius with a space martial spirit, so I quickly went over. That guy is really unmoved by force or persuasion. After spending a lot of effort, I was able to take his martial spirit and then conveniently take away his Dao tool. Xiao Yueme said, Space martial spirit, this should be a good thing, right? Qin Yun's eyes lit up. Of course it's a good thing. People with this kind of martial spirit, coupled with some formations, can become teleportation masters. They can teleport very far away in an instant. Xiao Yueme said with a smile, I also have a space martial spirit now. I will also become a teleportation master in the future. You're really something. While flying, Qin Yun could not help but caress her little face. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme traveled together, so he would not be bored on the road. He could also understand where Xiao Yueme had been all these years. The reason why Xiao Yueme ran around everywhere and swindled people is because she wanted to take more martial spirits. This has already become her habit. Not only martial spirits, there are also divine ability martial spirits, inscription spirit, red variant martial spirits, and so on. They're all things she wants to collect. Oh, that's right, Yueme, I have an overwhelming righteous martial spirit. Didn't you sense it just now? Qin Yun asked. Brother, you actually have this kind of martial spirit. Why didn't you say so earlier? Xiao Yueme promptly stopped flying and floated in the air. Qin Yun also stopped and said with a smile, I thought you would be able to discover it. Quickly release it. This martial spirit needs to leave the body to be discovered. Xiao Yueme hastily said. Her lily-white hand that is holding the small mirror is slightly trembling. She is very excited. Qin Yun released a white martial spirit. Xiao Yueme's mirror martial spirit also emitted a white light. After she extended the mirror, she looked at it and said with a satisfied smile, Success. Then let's continue our journey. Qin Yun said. After a few days of fast flying, Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme arrived at a city. This huge city has no city walls. Looking from the distance is a mess inside. Moreover, there are all kinds of flying things and people in the sky. In a regular big city, the sky above the city is controlled. One can only fly according to the rules. A wild city like this, without management, would appear very chaotic. Brother, this city is the closest city to the remote Moon Mountain range. It was originally a famous big city, but because of the frequent internal wars, it became like this. It has been rebuilt many times. Xiao Yueme is very familiar with all kinds of things. Are we going to directly enter the remote Moon Mountain range or enter this kind of chaotic moon city? Qin Yun asked. When the blue moon appears, I will be able to sense Sister Yang's black moon martial spirit through the blue moon. At that time, I will be able to find her, Xiao Yueme said. If the black moon martial spirit is hidden, it will be very difficult to sense it. Qin Yun nodded and said, Then let's enter this city first and inquire about some things. Soon after, Xiao Yueme and Qin Yun entered the chaotic moon city. They directly went to the middle area. It is relatively bustling and it looks clean and tidy, not messy or dirty. After Xiao Yueme arrived at the middle area, she looked at the tall tower and said, Brother, that is the divine inscription palace. Wherever there is a city, there's basically a divine inscription palace. Generally speaking, it is also a relatively high-level place in a city. Why are we going to the divine inscription palace? Qin Yun said with a frown. Of course it's a check-in. Let's go, I'll take you there. Follow me. Xiao Yueme said. She is currently wearing black clothes, and her face is covered with a black veil. She is skipping towards the divine inscription palace. Qin Yun can only follow behind her. Not long after, Qin Yun followed Xiao Yueme and arrived inside the divine inscription palace. Next, what shocked him is that Xiao Yueme is about to start swindling him. Is your general manager here? This little girl is Long Xiang Yue from the Soaring Dragon State. I am a Xian inscription master. This is my first time here. Please take care of me. Xiao Yueme's voice is gentle. Her eyes flashed with a pure light. What made Qin Yun even more shocked is that Xiao Yuanmei actually took out a badge. On the front of the badge is the word Xian, and on the back is a slightly smaller word Zhong. Chapter 723. Part of the badge in Xiao Yuanmei's hand is real. It can emit light. The young men in the hall on the first floor of the Divine Inscription Palace are all shocked when they saw the badge. When the staff of the Divine Inscription Palace saw the badge, they immediately went to find their general director. Mid-level Xian Inscription Master, and he is also very young, and he is from the Soaring Dragon State's Long family. Of course, the general director has to come forward. Soon after, many young masters with high status came over to chat with Xiao Yuanmei. At this time, Xiao Yuanmei secretly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun, telling him to pretend to give her a good gift. Qin Yun was stunned for a moment before reacting. He took out an empty box and handed it over. Young Lady Long, this is a small gift from me. It's a 50,000-year-old blood ginseng. Thank you, young master, for your gift. Xian Yu appreciates your kindness. Young master, please take back such a precious thing. Xiao Yuanmei's voice is gentle and polite, like a young lady from a noble family. Qin Yun cursed this little swindler girl in his heart a few times before continuing to cooperate with Xiao Yuanmei. This is nothing to me. Please accept it. Otherwise, you'll be looking down on me. All right, my name is Morong Darren. I am from the Morong family. Thank you, young master Morong. Xiao Yuanmei took Qin Yun's box and bowed slightly. She said, our Long family recently wanted to purchase some precious medicinal ingredients. Young master Morong, your Morong family's medicinal ingredients must be pretty good. I can purchase them from you on behalf of the family. Sure, Qin Yun said with a smile. When the young masters here saw this, they all rushed to give gifts to Xiao Yuanmei. As Xiao Yuanmei spoke politely, she took the gifts from her subordinates. After thanking them, she promised to hold a banquet in the Divine Inscription Palace's second floor's main hall tonight. Qin Yun secretly admired Xiao Yuanmei. She managed to swindle a bunch of gifts in an instant. Those young masters also wanted to curry favor with this Long family's young Xian Inscription Master. Especially after the general director of the Divine Inscription Palace confirmed that the badge was real, it caused people to exclaim in admiration again and again. The appearance of the young female Xian Inscription Master immediately caused the young masters here to go crazy. As the first person to give a gift, Qin Yun was also invited by Xiao Yuanmei, causing many people to be envious and jealous. Xiao Yuanmei is a Xian Inscription Master, so she can stay in the suite for free. In the living room of the suite, Qin Yun asked in a low voice, Yuanmei, where did you get your badge? I cheated her. Xiao Yuanmei giggled and said, cheated? How? The process of issuing emblems is very strict. If the person who issues the emblems deceives you, you will be punished by the blood oath. Qin Yun had received the badge before, so he knew that the process was very strict. I cheated during the exam, so the person who issued the badge didn't know. Xiao Yuanmei smiled proudly. Brother, I'm awesome, right? Qin Yun said with a smile. Awesome. Let's see what's inside. Xiao Yuanmei promptly took out the large pile of gifts. After opening them and looking at them, she curled her lips and said, they are all trash. How is it trash? But they're all Xian medicines. Qin Yun looked at the Xian medicines and felt that they were pretty good. I'm not interested in these things. I just looked at their martial spirits, and they're all trash martial spirits. There's nothing that attracts me. Xiao Yuanmei sighed lightly. In this kind of damn place, it's very difficult to meet someone with a good martial spirit. Xiao Yuanmei sat on the table and swung her legs. She took out 2 fruits from the pile of gifts, ate one for herself, and gave the other to Qin Yun. Qin Yun also found a few fruits and gave them to Mo and the little jade rabbit to eat. Dong, dong, dong. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Miss Long, are you free now? There are a few young masters from large families who want to pay you a visit. The person who spoke was the manager of the Divine Inscription Palace. His name was Stewardly. Yes, let them come over. Xiao Yuanmei's beautiful eyes lit up as she quickly replied. Then, she whispered to Qin Yun, Brother, you have to cooperate with me. Later on, I will despise you and make those young masters feel superior. Then you'll be very angry and compete with those guys. When the time comes, you can freely use this method. After Qin Yun memorized it, he nodded. Brother, isn't it very enjoyable? In my previous life, you often brought me around to swindle people. Now, it's my turn to bring you around to play. I'm an old hand. Xiao Yueme giggled. You little girl, Qin Yun said with a smile. Not long after, Stewardly knocked on the door. Xiao Yueme hurriedly went to open the door. Qin Yun sat at the round table in the hall. The few who came in were indeed young masters from large families. Their clothes were very bright and dazzling. After Stewardly brought them over, he hurriedly left. The reason why Xiao Yueme felt that these people were big fish is because they could get the manager of the Divine Inscription Palace to pull the strings. The people who came were from the Jiang, Yi, Xia, and Ji families. There were a total of 4 young and handsome young men dressed in luxurious clothes. These were the young masters of second-rate families. In Jianrian's words, they were from a small fish family. It was very difficult for a small fish family to squeeze into a first-rate family. Therefore, once these young masters encountered an opportunity to get to know the elites of a first-rate family, they would not let it go. Especially when they encountered young, beautiful, and extremely talented women, they would not let them go. Qin Yun also discovered that when Xiao Yueme impersonated someone, she pretended to be from a very far-away place. This way, she would not be immediately discovered by the other party. She pretended to be someone from the Soaring Dragon State and the Proud Star State. Even if they wanted to investigate, it would be difficult to find out her identity in a short period of time. Coupled with her beauty and Inscription Master badge, she would definitely be able to deceive people into running around in circles. Young Master Morong, although you gave me a generous gift, but your clothes are so simple and crude, you don't look like a descendant of a large family. Look at these young masters, whether it is their temperament or attire, you can't compare to them. Xiao Yueme's eyes are filled with doubt as she looked at Qin Yun. Those few young masters from large families also repeatedly agreed. Young Master Yi looked at Qin Yun and said with a sneer, "With your attire, you dare to say that you are a descendant of a large family? No wonder young Lady Long is suspicious. You are a swindler." Young Master Ji also mocked. "Young Lady Long, the ginseng he gave you might also be fake." Young Master Jiang said, "I will send people to investigate his identity later. If he is a swindler, then he is dead for sure." Young Master Xia smiled at Xiao Yueme and said, "Young Lady Long, don't worry. If someone is swindling people here, he will definitely not live. With me, young Master Xia, here, no one will dare to deceive you." Ling Yin'er giggled nonstop inside Qin Yun's illusory space. Qin Yun is indeed dressed very shabbily. The material of his clothes is very rough beast skin. Although he is being looked down upon, Qin Yun is very calm in his heart because this is deliberately provoked by Xiao Yueme. Qin Yun pretended to be very angry and said, "Don't look down on people with dog eyes. Although my Morong family is not some super large family, it is not to the point where I can't afford good clothes. I just don't want to wear it. How dare you? Are you scolding young Lady Long for looking down on people with dog eyes?" Young Master Yi immediately became very angry. He is so angry that he released a burst of aura. It is mid-stage spirit martial realm cultivation. This kind of young master looks young, and his cultivation is mid-stage spirit martial realm. He is considered very strong here. Qin Yun is not afraid of this kind of young master. He can slap a few of them to death. Young Lady Long is only questioning me, and all of you are sure that I am a swindler. Look down on people with dog eyes. I mean, you guys. Qin Yun made himself look angry and released a burst of aura. He is also mid-stage spirit martial realm. Of course, that aura was suppressed by him. Otherwise, it would scare the other party away. Everyone, stop quarreling. Sit down quietly. Xiao Yueme lightly shouted, but in her heart, she is very happy. She feels that bringing Qin Yun to swindle is also a very happy thing. Previously, she and Hong Mengshu were often partners. Young Lady Long, don't worry. I will definitely prove that I am not a swindler, Qin Yun said angrily. Then he took out a purple crystal card and said, Young Lady Long, I will give you 1 billion purple crystal coins now to buy clothes. Although I don't care about my appearance, you girls still have to dress up properly. Taking out 1 billion purple crystal coins in one go is indeed not simple. It scared those few young masters. Young Master Morong, this little girl travels the Jianghu alone, so I need to be extremely vigilant. As a result, I am often suspicious. Please forgive me. Xiao Yuanmei quickly said, I now believe that you are a descendant of the Morong family. I don't want this 1 billion purple crystal coins. This is definitely your family doing business for you. I can't accept it. As Xiao Yuanmei spoke, she used her slender lily-white hands to grab Qin Yun's hand and pushed it back. She said, Young Master Morong, doing business requires one to be especially calm. Since the Morong family has given you so many purple crystal coins, it means that they trust you. Don't let your emotions affect your decisions. After Qin Yun took back the purple crystal coins, he calmed down. Those few young masters secretly praised this young Lady Long in their hearts. They all thought that she was a good partner. She actually rejected a gift of 1 billion purple crystal coins. One must know that although the women they met were all very beautiful and all of them had eyes for wealth, they all had eyes for money. Qin Yun looked at those few young masters with a sneer. You poor and shabby fellows, I can tell with a glance that you came empty-handed. You guys are dressed so well and are so high profile, you must be pretending to be fat. Those who truly have a background are all very low-key, such as me. What good things do you have for young Lady Long? It can't be that they're all trash, right? Those few young masters were ridiculed in such a manner, but they were unable to retaliate, because they really didn't have anything good. If it wasn't for Steward Lee's face, would you be able to come here? A bunch of poor bastards also want to curry favor with young Lady Long. Even if you don't feel ashamed, I feel ashamed. Qin Yun continued to taunt them. Young Master Ji said, Young Lady Long, our Ji family has established a very large business in chaotic Moon City. It has been many years. Our foundation is very strong. We came in a hurry this time, so we are not prepared enough. I'll go back now. The other young masters also expressed that they wanted to go back and prepare gifts. Xiao Yuanmei pretended to persuade them to stay and said that they didn't want any expensive gifts. As long as everyone was calm, it would be fine. This actually angered those young masters even more. It can't be that you guys won't come back after leaving, right? Qin Yun said with a laugh. Bastard, just you wait here. I'll let you see what a great family is. Young Master Ji left after saying those ruthless words. The other young masters also left. After the door closed, Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. A bunch of poor bastards. I'm worried that they won't come back. Xiao Yuanmei said with a charming smile. Brother, you did well. You have the demeanor of your previous life. Just you wait, they will definitely come back. And they will even bring their elders. Chapter 724. Chinchilla. Yuanmei, what Xian talisman do you want to refine? Qin Yun asked. I'll just refine a little. Don't be too good, don't be too bad either. It's best if it can display the level of inscription. Xiao Yuanmei said. Low-grade Xian talisman will do. Qin Yun thought for a moment and roughly knew what kind of Xian talisman he was going to refine. He took out some talisman paper that he had prepared earlier. These Xian talisman papers are refined from bee skin. They are top-quality talisman papers made by Lu Jingming and Jian Linglong. Last time Qin Yun went to find them, he took some. Qin Yun was best at creating berserk fire talismans. Because he has the wildfire inscription spirit, when he carves fire attribute runes, his precision is very high and fast. The fire talismans that he was refining now all used fire attribute Xian runes. Qin Yun used the mental resonance Xian pen and quickly carved the fire Xian runes. The fire Xian runes he carved are not very good, and he does not want to refine good Xian talismans for those people. Qin Yun obtained very few Xian runes from the second pearl of the Nine-Sun Divine Spirit. The Xian runes he obtained later on were all collected from other places. For example, Mo had deciphered the Xian runes on some Xian artifacts, or they were given by Mu Feng and Chu Binyu. Jian Linglong also gave him many Xian runes. Brother, what is your current inscription level? Xiao Yuemei's eyes are wide open as she looked at Qin Yun and asked in low voice. I'm also not too clear. In short, I am not a Dao inscription master. It should be a bit stronger than a mid-level Xian inscription master. Qin Yun said with a smile. Brother, you were also an inscription master in your past life, and you even know how to refine immortal tools. If you recover your past life's memories, maybe you will be able to improve a lot. Xiao Yuemei stood behind Qin Yun, stroked his head, and mumbled. If I recover the memories of my previous life, Sister Bingxing will definitely be very fierce to me. Qin Yun was more concerned about this. Of course, he did not know how to recover the memories of his previous life. Xiao Yuemei nodded and said, Brother, it's best if you don't recover your memories now. We recovered our memories a long time ago, but we have to suppress our soul energy from time to time. It's very troublesome. The reason why Xiao Yuelon and Qi Melian were in such a hurry was also because they wanted to do such a thing. Yuemei, how many talismans do I need? Qin Yun asked. The more the better. I also want a few. Xiao Yuemei said. Yuemei, they want you to refine tools on the spot. What are you going to do? Qin Yun asked again. I won't casually refine tools. If it's really not possible, you could just replace me. Xiao Yuemei giggled. Qin Yun suddenly had an ominous feeling as he said with a frown, I'm a man. It's not easy for me to impersonate you, right? If necessary, it won't be a problem. Xiao Yuemei said with a mischievous smile. Qin Yun curled his lips and continued carving runes. 6 hours later, someone knocked on the door. They are here, Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Qin Yun quickly put away all the things on the table. Xiao Yuemei also obtained 20 to 30 fire Xian talismans and walked over to open the door. Qin Yun secretly admired Xiao Yuemei because those few young masters have indeed invited their elders. They are all Xian martial realm martial monarchs. In addition, Manager Li and a few old Xian inscription masters of the Divine Inscription Palace are also here. Qin Yun also quickly stood up. Xiao Yuemei pretended to be very polite and invited those people to sit down, causing those seniors to laugh nonstop. It is as if they think that Xiao Yuemei will marry into their family. Xiao Yun, these guys are all greedy for small advantages. They think that they can pick up an outstanding young miss from a big family. Therefore, the seniors of these small fish families have all come out. Ling Yun laughed tenderly and said, Yuemei is precisely using their greedy heart to swindle them. Those few seniors looked at Qin Yun with disdain. Morong family? This is a mediocre family. You actually dare to be rude and unreasonable in front of us. Ji family old man said with sneer. So what if my Morong family is mediocre? I am generous, unlike you guys who don't even have a decent gift. Qin Yun said mockingly. Your juniors look down on my clothes, and I can buy clothes for Miss Long with 1 billion purple crystal coins. What about you guys? Xiao Yuemei, who is impersonating Long Xiangyue, looks gentle and polite. She's also somewhat naive and pure, afraid of causing trouble. She pretended to come over to mediate, but those seniors were unwilling. Little Morong, you said you gave 50,000-year-old blood ginseng to Miss Long? Is that true? As far as I know, your Morong family can't possibly have such a thing. Yi family's old man asked doubtfully. The other elders all looked at Xiao Yuemei. Yi family's old man asked, Miss Long, take out the blood ginseng. We will help you appraise it. Xiao Yuemei said with an embarrassed expression, Seniors, I fed the blood ginseng to my pet beast. After speaking, she released a kitten. The kitten is white, but its entire body is emitting a faint golden dragon aura. This is a chinchilla. Xia family's elder shouted in alarm and jumped up from his seat. A little girl actually has such a rare bird and strange beast. This is truly shocking. Now, those elders all believe that this Miss Long in front of them truly came from the Soaring Dragon State's Long family. Because only the Soaring Dragon State's Long family has many dragon blood strange beasts. It is said that this kind of cat can become a very strong dragon Young master, you look at the chinchilla and is extremely envious. I don't know either. This was given to me by my family. Xiao Yuanmei gently stroked the kitten's head and put into the beast bag. Now those seniors can no longer see the blood ginseng. Qin Yun secretly praised Xiao Yuanmei's response. Seniors, that blood ginseng is real. Kitten told me this. Xiao Yuanmei said again, everyone, please don't talk about this matter anymore. Everyone be more amiable and don't give me gifts. How about this? Let this little girl give everyone a small gift. Xiao Yuanmei took out a stack of Xian fire talismans and gave one to each person. Manager Li is the most astonished. To be able to become the manager here, his level of inscription is not bad. After seeing those Xian talismans, he exclaimed, "What a high degree of finesse!" The other inscription masters also exclaimed in admiration. Even we can't reach this level of finesse. A Xian inscription master looked at Xiao Yuanmei in disbelief. Miss Long, did you really refine this? This level of finesse, only those kind of Dao inscription masters can carve it. Miss Long, it's not that I doubt you. It's just that this is too unreasonable. Please understand. Xiao Yuanmei smiled lightly. Seniors, this is indeed made by me. I understand your doubts. It doesn't matter. When the elders of those few families saw the reaction of those inscription masters, they knew that this kind of fire Xian talisman is not simple. If it was really refined by the little girl in front of them, then she is definitely a top inscription genius. Miss Long, where are your elders? Are they here? Manager Li quickly asked. They entered the remote Moon Mountain range. They said that it's dangerous inside, so they told me to come to the Divine Inscription Palace to wait for them. Xiao Yuanmei said, Seniors, how is the situation in the remote Moon Mountain range? Is it really dangerous inside? When Xiao Yuanmei asked this question, those seniors scrambled to be the first to talk about the situation in the mountain range. Qin Yun, who is listening from the side, is secretly alarmed. He never expected that there would be so many experts gathered in the remote Moon Mountain range. And in the remote Moon Mountain range, there are indeed all kinds of dangers. Very strong beasts have appeared. It is said that they're called Nethermoon Ghost Beasts. They only appear at night and can easily kill Xian martial realm martial monarchs. Furthermore, the powers of the other states all sent martial kings and martial emperors into the remote Moon Mountain range to search for Yang Shuriwei. Yang Shuriwei indeed appeared once before. She was injured by a martial king from the Long family. At that time, many people also saw that martial king chasing after Yang Shuriwei who was covered in blood. Xiao Yuanmei and Qin Yun felt heartache and anger when they heard this. Just as Qin Yun is worried about Yang Shuriwei, Xiao Yuanmei sent a sound transmission to Qin Yun. Xiao Yun, it's time to act, provoke them. Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, Miss Long, does your little dragon cat still need to eat any medicinal ingredients? I still have some here. Consider it my gift to that little kitten. Everyone can see that this Murong family disciple is trying his best to curry favor with Long Xiangyue. Those people from the big families are unhappy because if they don't do anything, they will be defeated. At that time, how will they develop relations? They all took out many generous gifts. All of them are precious high-grade Xian tool materials. Most of them are beast bones and ores. Since Miss Long is an inscription master, these are the most useful to you. Yi family's old man said with a smile. Since all the seniors are so enthusiastic, then Xiangyue won't refuse. Xiao Yuanmei put them away one by one, causing those few elders to be beaming with joy. Although those things are not bad, Qin Yun feels that they are not enough. He thought for a moment, then took out a Dao tool armor and said, Miss Long, although you are a very talented Xian inscription master, you are still unable to refine Dao tools. I'll lend you this Dao tool armor for now. When you can refine Dao tools in the future, you can return it to me. You are a woman. With a good Dao tool armor, you'll be much safer. This caused the seniors of those few families to be stunned. Manager Li and the other few Xian inscription masters suddenly stretched their necks to look at the Dao tool armor. They are all extremely shocked. Young Master Morong, This is too precious. I can't take it. Xiao Yuemei's eyes are filled with astonishment. It can be seen that she really wants it, but she still refused. I'm just lending it to you. Qin Yin smiled. We're good friends. It's normal for me to care about my friends. Take it. Then thank you, young Master Moro. Xiao Yuemei smiled. I will be able to refine Dao tools in the future. I will also refine a Dao tool for young Master Moro. Those few family elders also saw Xiao Yuemei. Their eyes revealed a trace of adoration. They never expected that the mediocre Murong family would actually produce such a wastrel. Chapter 725. Entering the mountain range, the reason why those young masters brought their elders over is because those elders are worried about giving them precious things. That's why they personally came over to see if there is really a long family disciple here. Now, after those elders came over, they also saw a long family disciple. Moreover, she is very outstanding and an obedient girl. If they could facilitate a marriage alliance with a large family, then their status in the entire family would also rise. This chaotic moon city is not a good place. The people who were assigned here, even if they are from large families, are the kind of people who are on the fringes. Now, they're all plotting against Xiao Yuemei. These few smiling old men all feel that as long as they let their young masters and the young miss of a large family cook raw rice, when the time comes, they will also be able to accomplish this marriage. Because they also saw that this Long Xiang Yue is relatively simple, they feel that she is easy to deceive and easy to settle. The Ji family's old man said with a smile, Young Lady Long, this is a small gift from our Ji family to you. It is a royal grade Xian fruit. There are a total of 3 of them, and they have all grown for 20,000 years. Your 3 bright red fruits are shrouded in a faint red light mist. With a single glance, one can tell that they are good things. This? Xiao Yuemei's eyebrows are slightly knitted. She shook her head and said, I can't accept any more gifts. I will be blamed by the elders. Young Lady Long, you can't discriminate. Our gifts are not the least bit inferior to that Dao tool. You can't just accept his and not ours. The Ji family's old man said, All right then, I will treat it as a gift from your Ji family to the Long family. I will pass it on to the elders. Xiao Yuemei nodded and said, then took it. Those royal grade Xian fruits are indeed pretty good, but compared to Qin Yun's Dao tool treasure robe, they're still lacking by a lot. Manager Li and the other Xian inscription masters also know about it, but they did not say it out loud. These few old men are only Xian martial realm martial monarchs. The things they could take out are also just that. Soon after, it is the gift from the Xia family. It is a small Dao crystal jade, only 5 taels. Even though it is only 5 taels, it caused the elders here to be moved. The Ji family's wild fruits cannot compare to our Xia family's Dao crystal jade. Young Lady Long, you are also in the spirit martial realm. If you want to reach the peak of the spirit martial realm, you need to cultivate a Xian spirit Dao crystal. This small Dao crystal jade can allow you to cultivate 5 years less. The old man from the Xia family chuckled. The faces of the Ji family's elders are slightly unsightly because Dao crystal jades are very rare, especially for those who are trying to break through to the peak of the spirit realm. They're the most precious. The Jiang family elder took out a piece of crystal and said, Miss Long, this is a Xian heart crystal. It is also a good thing that is helpful for cultivating the Xian spirit Dao crystal. Manager Li said in surprise, as long as you have the Xian heart crystal, it will be easier to cultivate the Xian spirit Dao crystal when cultivating. Xiao, Xian spirit Shui, the gifts he gave out were each better than the previous one. Although they are Xian, although they are our Xian family. In order to not discriminate, Xiao Yuemei accepted them one by one and thanked them profusely. Qin Yin watched from the side and secretly rejoiced. He also wanted to know what kind of good things Xiao Yuemei and Hong Mengshu swindled. Finally, it is the Yi family's old man. He was the last to take action. Clearly, it is an extremely good thing. Furthermore, his face is filled with arrogance. After he unfolded the beast's skin, he said, "Young Lady Long, you are a talented Xian inscription master. What I gave you is a royal grade Xian rune. I hope it will be useful to you." Manager Li immediately cried out in alarm. "Could it be that you just obtained the ancient Xian rune, Fire Tiger Xian rune? It is said that this is an improved version of the tiger totem. If it is refined into a Xian talisman, it can release a type of fierce flame tiger to fight." The Yi family's old man and young master Yi both laughed complacently. This caused the people from the other three families to secretly grit their teeth. They also admit that the royal grade Xian rune given by the Yi family is better than theirs. More importantly, this is not a loss to the Yi family because they have already memorized the Fire Tiger Xian rune. They are only making a copy and giving it away. Not only do they not lose anything, it is also very precious. Of course, the gifts they gave Xiao Yuemei are not as good as the Dao tools Qinyan gave her. Thank you everyone for your gifts. I will definitely hand them over to the elders and inform them of the specific situation. Xiao Yuemei said, "Young Lady Long came from afar. You should be tired. Then we won't disturb your rest." The Yi family's old man said with a smile. At this moment, a slight tremor suddenly came. Manager Li said with a frown, "Maybe an intense battle has occurred in the remote Moon Mountain range. It has also spread here." At this moment, someone knocked on the door. After Manager Li opened the door, he saw a middle-aged man with an anxious expression. The middle-aged man said, "Manager, something big has happened." In the depths of the remote Moon Mountain range, a relatively large star suddenly descended. There is news from the front that it is a beast star, and many powerful star beasts have also appeared in the remote Moon Mountain range. The Yi family's old man quickly said, "This is a good thing." Not to mention that a large number of star beasts have appeared. Even before, they did not dare to casually enter the inner region, because it is very dangerous inside. Therefore, many people admire Yang Shuriyue. She is only at the spirit martial realm, yet she dared to run inside. Furthermore, she was chased by many martial kings and martial emperors. After so long, she has not been caught. Qin Yun, Xiao Yuemei, and the four young masters stayed in the outer region. Xiao Yuemei is very unhappy in her heart because she thought that she could follow those martial monarchs into the depths, but she was left here. At this time, young Master Yi took out a cylindrical object and shot a ball of light into the sky. Then, it exploded in the air, emitting a deafening sound. At the same time, light rays shot in all directions. Young Master Ji, young Master Xia, and young Master Jiang are also doing the same thing. Young Lady Long, we are gathering our companions. They must have also entered the remote Moon Mountain range. We are gathering them here. Young Master Yi saw that Xiao Yuemei's eyes are filled with doubt and said, Xiao Yuemei's face is covered with a veil. Only half of her face can be seen. However, it can be seen that she is very beautiful. Young Master Morong, don't you need to gather your team? Young Master Ji saw Qin Yin standing there and said with sneer, "You can't be alone, right?" "How can I be alone? I still have young Lady Long to accompany me." Qin Yin said with smile, "Young Master Morong, are you a descendant of an aristocratic family or not? You actually don't have your own team." Young Master Yi said with sneer, "You are alone. If you encounter danger, we won't care about you." Qin Yin snorted and no longer paid attention to these young masters. Young Lady Long, they will arrive very soon. When the time comes, we will be able to enter the depths even more safely. Outside, there is no harvest at all. Young Master Yi said with smile. Then will we be punished by the elders? Xiao Yuemei deliberately asked worriedly. Not afraid. Nothing will happen. We are just going a bit more. Young Master Yi laughed loudly. I used to go in off and nothing happened at all. Not long after, a group of people arrived. When they saw those young masters, they all called them Big Brother. These young masters established their own small gang and became a boss. Being called Big Brother by a large group of lackeys made those young masters extremely proud, especially in front of Xiao Yuemei. Soon after, those lackeys also learned that this woman is from the Long family and is also a Xin inscription master. They have heard of her before, but they never expected to see her so soon. Chapter 726. A bunch of trash. Qin Yun is not the least bit afraid of this group of people. He said with sneer, "Why should I scram? Do you think a bunch of trash like you are qualified to make me scram? You're only one person and we have so many people. If you follow us, won't you be taking advantage of us?" Young Master Ye's little brother shouted angrily. "It is also because of young Lady Long's face that we politely let you leave. Otherwise, we would have broken your legs." That little brother, in order to show off in front of his big brother, is also extremely arrogant. "Huh? Having more people means you are strong? Truly funny." Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, "You bunch of trash. Even 10 of you can't beat me. 10? You think too highly of yourself. I can kill you with one hand." Young Master Ye's little brother took out a spear and rushed towards Qin Yun. His body surged out a wave of energy, blowing up a gale. The gale rushed towards Qin Yun. Xiao Yuanmei, who was not far away, only pretended to be anxious and advised not to fight. The people here did not care about Xiao Yuanmei's persuasion. The few young masters are the same. "Young Lady Long, this guy is too arrogant. Just teach him a lesson and let him have a good memory. Nothing will happen." Young Master Yi chuckled and said, "Just watch. He is just a prodigal son. He can't even beat my little brother." After the Yi family's little brother rushed over, his spear stabbed towards Qin Yun's throat. His first move was a killing move. He dared to be so arrogant because on one hand, he is young Master Ye's favorite, and on the other hand, he is at the initial stage of spirit martial realm. When he saw Qin Yun's aura, he felt that he could jump levels to defeat him. Everyone also knew the strength of this Yi family's little brother and felt that Qin Yun is finished. When the spear stabbed over, Qin Yun fiercely grabbed the spearhead. His palm also emitted a burst of flame and directly melted the spear. "I already said that you are trash. You still don't believe me? You want me to help you prove it?" Qin Yun said with sneer. After grabbing the spearhead, he punched out. His fist has not even touched the young man. Just the fist energy alone caused the young man's body to split open and his Dao core to explode. Bang! Young Master Ye's lackey was sent flying into a large tree and landed heavily on the ground, continuously vomiting blood. A middle-aged man hurriedly went over to check on his injuries, and then his expression turned extremely ugly. His Dao core has shattered. When everyone heard this, there was an uproar. They were not surprised by Qin Yun's strength. They just felt that he was too bold. He crippled that lackey in front of young Master Yi. "Surname Murong, aren't you a little too ruthless?" Young Master Yi said angrily. Originally, he only planned to unite a few young masters and teach this Murong family's descendant, who was in the limelight, a lesson so that he would make a fool of himself. But he didn't expect such a big thing to happen so quickly. "Ruthless? He wanted to pierce my throat just now." Qin Yun said with sneer. "Young Master Yi, right? You're really a coward. You're obviously very strong, but you sent a little brother at the early stage of the spiritual martial realm to deal with me. You're clearly sending him to die." Qin Yun's words caused young Master Yi to fall into a difficult situation, because if he didn't do anything now, his group of lackeys would doubt his strength. "Surname Murong, count out to a yuan 100 times, and then scram as far as you can. Then I'll let you go. This is all for young Lady Long's sake. Otherwise, you would already be a dead man." Young Master Ye's voice is incomparably cold. "Our boss, Yi, possesses the purple gold bear martial spirit. In Chaotic Moon City, he is one of the top mid-stage spirit martial realm martial masters. Surnamed Murong, hurry up and kowtow to a yuan and admit your wrongs. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep your life. If it weren't for young Lady Long's kindness and not wanting to see people die, you would have already been killed by Boss Yi. What are you still standing there for? Hurry up and kowtow to a yuan and then scram further away." Young Master Yi's lackeys all shouted fiercely. The other young masters are just watching the show from the side. Although they are very unhappy with this Murong family member, they are not stupid. They can tell that he is not someone to be trifled with. You bunch of dogs, if you have the guts, kill me for your master. What's the use of barking? Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, a bunch of dogs that only bark and don't bite. Your boss Yi has raised you in vain. Young Master Yi immediately became furious and roared, don't insult my subordinates. I want you to die now. After he finished speaking, a giant purple gold bear phantom appeared on young Master Ye's body. It looked like an angry giant bear. When he rushed over, it caused the earth to tremble. The true roar that came from his mouth also caused people's hair to stand on end. Young Master Yi flew over, his huge bear paw-like hand vigorously slapped toward Qin Yun. The energy released caused the ground to sink by more than a meter, and many pits appeared. With your little strength, you still want to kill me? Qin Yun looked at the slowly descending palm and punched with lightning speed. The vibrating power directly shook the arm until it burst into a mist of blood. It must be known that Qin Yun is now a late-stage spirit martial realm martial master. The aura he released is only comparable to the middle-stage spirit martial realm. There are no late-stage spirit martial realm martial masters here. So Qin Yun is also invincible here. Young Master Ye's arm was shattered into a mist of blood and scattered all around. The stench of blood caused that lackey to shiver. The boss Yi they worshipped is actually so weak, his arm was crippled in an instant. Young Master Yi also immediately felt the disparity in strength. Especially when he sensed the formidable aura of the opponent, he felt incomparable fear in his heart, and his legs immediately trembled. Young Master Yi, aren't you very strong? Qin Yun said with sneer. I, Uncle Moron, let me go. Young Master Yi actually knelt on the ground with a plop, and then quickly kowtowed. Everyone is dumbfounded. This usually high and mighty young master, Yi actually knelt down so thoroughly. I'm a great person and will not stoop to petty people's offenses. Moreover, for young Lady Long's sake, I will let you go. Qin Yun laughed, and then walked toward Xiao Yuanmei. At this moment, young Master Yi, whose face is filled with anger, suddenly took out a cylinder and released a few poisonous needles. When the black poisonous needles appeared, everyone felt that Qin Yun is dead for sure, because Qin Yun's back is facing young Master Yi. Be careful. As Xiao Yuanmei spoke, her beautiful figure flashed and suddenly appeared behind Qin Yun. Her sleeves gently waved and sent the few poisonous needles flying and into young Master Yi's neck. After young Master Yi was poisoned, the skin on his body immediately rotted. It is very frightening. Everyone is dumbstruck. They never expected that a seemingly delicate and weak girl would have such an outstanding movement technique. She easily sent those fast hidden weapons flying. Young Master Yi is dead. Everyone felt a wave of fear, especially the other young masters. They were chatting and laughing with this woman in the Divine Inscription Palace, but they never expected that this seemingly polite and gentle woman would actually be so strong. Young Master Ji said with a frown, Young Lady Long, you killed young Master Yi. The Yi family will not let you off. If you marry me, nothing will happen. Qin Yun immediately laughed and said, Young Master Ji, you think too highly of yourself. How are you worthy of young Lady Long? Young Lady Long is a Xian inscription master and a genius of a Long family. Even if she kills you bunch of bugs, the elders behind you will not dare to do anything to her. Young Master Ji said with a sneer, Young Lady Long, don't listen to him. If the elders of the Yi family knew about this, they would definitely capture you. You should come back to the Ji family with me. As long as you marry me, the Yi family won't dare to touch you. Young Lady Long, you only killed young Master Yi by mistake. Come back to the Jiang family with me and hide first. Young Master Jiang walked over and even moved his hands and feet. He wanted to hold Xiao Yuanmei's hand, but Xiao Yuanmei dodged. Yo, you are actually throwing a tantrum. Haha, you won't be able to escape today. Everyone quickly surround the two of them. Young Master Jiang laughed sinisterly. Young Lady Long, you took so many precious things from us. You are not worthy of us sleeping with you for a few nights. Do you feel guilty? A few young master's lackeys surrounded them one after another. They are all incomparably ferocious and murderous. Young Master Xia laughed sinisterly. Just sleep with me here. I like to have sex in the wild. From the attitude of these young masters and their lackeys, Qin Yun can tell that they often join hands to do this kind of deranged thing. He is immediately infuriated in his heart, because now they also want to join hands to conspire against Xiao Yuanmei. Xiao Yuanmei said with a chuckle, "Since you guys like to sleep so much, I'll let you sleep forever." After she finished speaking, a long sword appeared in her lily-white hand and pierced through young Master Zhang's head in an instant. At the same time, Qin Yun released a few throwing daggers. So. Those throwing daggers danced around chaotically, piercing through the bodies and heads of that group of people, quickly reaping the lives of that group of lackeys. Xiao Yuanmei also used her mental power to control 3 long swords. They transformed into a few rays of cold light and pierced through many bodies with formidable power. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei stood in the middle and used Imperial Spirit technique. They controlled their weapons to fly and harvest the dog lives of that group of trash. Young Master Ji, Young Master Jiang, and Young Master Xia are all lying on the ground and wailing. Didn't you guys want to sleep? You still want to sleep in the wild. Xiao Yuanmei controlled a sword and giggled. You can now sleep forever. After she finished speaking, her sword chopped down and killed those few young masters. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "These guys are truly trash." Xiao Yuanmei took out the soul-devouring spirit serpent and said with a chuckle, "They can only be unreasonable in chaotic Moon City." Soon after, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei chatted and laughed as they took out those martial spirits. "Brother, I'll give all these things to you. I only want a fruit to eat." Xiao Yuanmei took the royal grade Xian fruit and began eating it while blinking her mouth. The fire tiger Xian rune, Dao crystal jade, and Xian heart crystal were all given to Qin Yun. Qin Yun also knows that Xiao Yuanmei doesn't need those things because her mirror martial spirit can quickly increase her cultivation. After they tidied up the place, they headed towards the depths of the remote Moon Mountain range. However, not long after they started their journey, they suddenly sensed a few powerful auras coming from behind. They are all Xian, martial realm, martial monarchs. How did they come so fast? Qin Yun said in astonishment after sensing those auras. It's not those family elders, it's Aunt and the others. She can sense me. That's why she came over. Xiao Yuanmei said in a low voice, "Brother, do you want to meet Aunt?" Qin Yun remembered that Xiao Xianqin, Zi Qingsheng, and Shui Tianzi were together. Now that they have appeared here, it is obvious that they came to find Yang Shiyu and then met Xiao Yuanmei. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.